all the military academies play each other tomorrow. Air Force, Navy, Army, UAB. That's trash, and the show being brought to you by our great friends at Alabama Power. Brownie, tell us how we stay connected.
Yeah, Alabama Power. I mentioned earlier, I was right there online just before the show. Got the alert to remind me, hey, go pay your power bill, right? It's due today, so I went and paid my power bill. Very easy online right there at Alabama Power. They make it easy for you, and they make sure you don't get blindsided by charges that you don't think are supposed to be there. So what they do, if your power bill is higher than expected, they've got the My Power Usage tool. It helps you track how much energy you're using and when. Great way to spot patterns and avoid surprises. Plus, Alabama Power offers easy tips to help you save. You can find those at alabamapower.com/mypowerusage.
Can you name the 3 teams in the American Conference that are still unbeaten without looking?
The 3 teams, North Texas.
North Texas is 5-0 for the first time since 1959.
Is Memphis unbeaten?
Memphis is unbeaten, Brownie. Yeah. They too are 5-0 like North Texas.
This third one's going to be tricky.
The third one.
It is not Tulane because they lost badly to Ole Miss.
But they are still a playoff contender.
Yeah, they're a playoff contender.
Not South Florida.
Still a playoff contender.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's Navy.
It is Navy with Blake Horvath.
Yep.
They're 4-0. Their next 3, Air Force this week, Temple, Florida Atlantic, where there's a chance on November 1st they would be playing unbeaten North Texas. And those are 2 teams we're not talking about for the playoff bid because we're talking about Tulane and South Florida and Memphis. But in that same league, there's North Texas and Navy that could be meeting both of them unbeaten when we get there.
There's only 3 quarterbacks right now with I forgot how many attempts that have yet to throw a pick. We talked about one earlier today in Ty Simpson. But one of the 3 is North Texas's quarterback.
Yeah, your problem with them is they will not have a ranked win. All year. They won't even have played a ranked opponent. They
would in the American Championship game.
Yeah. I mean, potentially, yeah.
Or at least they're playing the other team battling for the group of 5.
Yeah. And I guess it really doesn't matter. They're going to have to win that conference. So whether they got a ranked win or not, it's probably going to come from the American this year. I mean, you'd feel pretty confident about that, right?
UNLV still out there. Boise, if it gets back in the conversation, if they beat Notre Dame this week.
That's right, which is a tall order for them.
Yep. But UNLV sitting out there 4-0. Sunbelt never gets enough respect because they beat up on each other. Right now in the Sunbelt, there's no unbeaten teams.
No, and they didn't get did they get a big pelt in the pre-conference? I don't remember one.
Old Dominion beat Virginia Tech, right?
Not a big pelt.
Yeah.
So I don't know if they've got anything to hang their hat on. Which Memphis is hanging their hat on Arkansas, who fired their coach.
Seems like it'll be an American.
I think so.
Team. All right, that's our show today. Bama and Bourbon out. If you missed Unlocked, it is out. Brock Heward and Lance. You can go back and check that out at your convenience. Good college and NFL conversation. Baseball playoffs, 4 games nonstop on ESPN and ABC the rest of the day. Enjoy that. We'll talk about everything in college football, the NFL, and baseball tomorrow at 9 a.m. Central Time. Until next time, God bless you and God bless America.
When you crave activity like we do, you belong in the Roback family. Get the best golf wear, hoodies, and activewear for men and women at Roback.com. Use promo code TNR20 to get 20% off your order. That's Roback.com, promo code TNR20.
It's bow time. Tired of choosing between sweet and savory? Why not have both? Introducing Bojangles' new chicken and bowberry waffles. The bold Cajun chicken filet you love, now drizzled with a bowberry honey glaze and sandwiched between 2 warm waffles. Which means your favorite meal of the day just met your new favorite dish. And lucky for you, it's served all day. But it's only here for a limited time, so try chicken and bowberry waffles at Bojangles today. It's bow time.
Have you been injured in an 18-wheeler accident, company truck accident, a car accident, or work-related accident? Call Alabama's largest personal injury firm. Alexander Shinara Trial Attorneys will fight for every dollar you deserve, and it won't cost you a dime. Trust me. What do you say, man?
Call me, Alabama.
Call 659-777-7777 or go to Shinara.com.
No representation made that the legal services provided are better than legal services provided by other attorneys.
Jim Dunaway.
Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, the next round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
Pretty amazing thing happening in the NFL. We'll get to that. Superheroes in sports. Just some athletes are different than others. We're watching what happened in real time. We'll talk baseball playoffs in a second. But we'll start with college football. Biggest game in the country, at least per ESPN this week, to me, is Vandy and Alabama. Game day's there, 2:30 ABC. It's a big one. And we'll talk about that throughout the show and hear from Clark Lee, who has turned this Vanderbilt program into a lot of respect. Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown, all the guys behind the big glass back there. But we want to start with the calendar changing. And, I'd forgotten that it was October today until Brown. I walked in today, and apparently from doing local news the way I'm dressed, but I walked in today, and Brownie's like, hey, I got this topic and this topic, and both involved the calendar flipping to October. You're like the sports version of pumpkin spice today.
I love October. October, to me.
Your favorite sports month?
Oh, it is definitely my favorite sports month.
It's the best month of the year.
It
5
is.
weeks.
Yeah.
So you used to be able to, especially in the sales game, you can make more money over those 5 weeks. There's only 4 of those per year. But the leaves are changing.
That's right, cooler weather.
You've got postseason baseball.
Yep.
You've got really – you've got a feel for college and the NFL, I think, by now.
Yeah,
and I used to love Halloween as a kid. Kids still like it.
A lot of good golf days in October. It's a great golf month in the Deep South. May and October are the 2 best months we get.
Leaves are changing, too.
And I would put October in front of May only because of college football and the NFL. So May and October are the best 2 months in the Deep South. And I think I'm with Lance. I think October's number 1.
Yep.
Obviously, you don't like it as much as Lance and I because you didn't even realize it was October today.
Well, I mean,
What do you think, September has 31
I got a
days or
happy
something?
October this morning.
Happy October.
Yeah,
well, nobody wished me a happy October.
Yeah, me either. I was
unless that's a euphemism. You're like,
No.
I was hanging out with the people from the Foundry this morning. Their Alabama Summit leadership event that they have. Ernie Johnson Jr., the speaker. So I was, with my social awkwardness focused on that, and it had not dawned on me that the calendar had flipped. You just alluded to something, Lance, that we sort of know who teams are in the NFL and in college football right now after the month of September. So I want to jump into that with college football right now. ESPN's FPI has, is this odds to win the national championship?
This is odds to make the college football playoff.
To make the college football playoffs.
Yeah.
And
I haven't seen it. I would say that is Ole Miss number 1?
Oh, I don't know. Let's take a look at it. But I would.
Jim's not seen it either.
I love the way he always wants to guess before we see it.
I know. You're
going
to be wrong.
Let's pull it up. But what I was going to hint at is I bet if we went back and did this on October 1 throughout the history of the ESPN FBI and the 12-team playoffs, there is more teams with higher percentages chance of making it than ever before. You know what I mean?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, like more 5%ers.
If I was wrong, I would say Oregon then.
You're right on that.
It is Oregon. 87% to make the playoffs, Oregon and Ohio State. Number 3 there is Alabama at 69%.
Boy, how that changed on one night of football.
Yeah, but to my point, you go all the way down, and you get to USC at 21% still to make. I mean, that's
coming off a loss in Illinois.
Is that 25 teams?
20 teams.
20 teams. And 21%, and who knows how many are at 20%, 19, 18. The path to make the playoffs is still there for so many teams.
Well, I don't know how Oregon doesn't make it now. Gun to head, I think Ohio State's the best team, but based on schedule that is left, I think Indiana's going to give them all they want. But they're coming off a bye. They get a bye before Indiana.
No, you're talking about Ohio State.
I'm talking about Oregon.
Oregon, because they got a bye this week, and then Indiana comes to their place.
But right there in the middle.
But even if you lose that.
Right there in the middle. Past LT's Ole Miss, past the U that's back, past Texas that's back, past Oklahoma that's back. What is that odd-shaped V right there? Forrester, can you help me? You're good with logos, Forrester. What's that odd-shaped V that's gold and black with 43% under their name?
Is that VMI?
Is that VMI?
I think it's Vanderbilt.
It's not Valpo?
Valpo, that's a good one.
Going back to yesterday, the narrative of the entire season changes with the Vanderbilt win.
Yeah.
Because it's last year was kind of novelty, this Diego Pavia, what a transfer quarterback can do. Then it would be staying power, and it would be, I don't know, their first 6-0. I don't even know last time they started 6-0, but they would be in the top 10.
But I will also point out, and I know it is kind of stunning to see Vanderbilt right there.
Yeah, put it back up for us.
Yeah, I mean, it is. It's a little jarring. Jarring might be the word
I
I'm
think
looking for.
more interesting is Indiana. Like, they're almost locking them in right now.
I know. Jarring to see Vanderbilt right there. Jarring. But I will caution you, they're only the 7th best odds among SEC teams, and 7 teams aren't getting in.
No, I know.
Yeah, I know. It's still jarring to see them there, even in front of Texas Tech, the highest odds of a Big 12 team.
Yeah.
You've got Vandy in front of them.
You know what? The Big Ten's getting at least 3 in, and there is a significant drop-off after the third team, which is Indiana.
You're correct. I mean, if ever the SEC was going to get 5, this might be it.
Yeah, Kirk Cignetti should get a lifetime contract if they get back to the postseason. You guys would give me that, right?
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, one of the worst programs if they go back-to-back years.
If he doesn't already have it.
Forrest, you're great at now giving us a shot that we can see ourselves and this. You see, I gave an unscripted book. I drew out of a fishbowl, an unscripted Ernie Johnson Jr. book, to a guy whose email address was RockyTopBall2212 or something like that.
So he's a Tennessee fan, you think? Maybe?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's Vanderbilt. Oh, there's the block T behind Vanderbilt.
With an overtime loss to Georgia. That's their only blemish.
You think you wake up on a good old Rocky Top and like seeing Vandy on the apartment above you?
One of our questions yesterday was best team in the state of Tennessee. I think it's Vanderbilt. You guys went Tennessee.
Yeah, I would take Tennessee in front of Vanderbilt.
I would take Tennessee in front of Vanderbilt.
Vanderbilt's got the better quarterback, no doubt.
Yeah. And look, there's the alphabet soup of LSU down there, too. Penn State. Is that Penn State on the bottom, too?
Well, and
USC, that bottom row is blue-blooded. And there's Vanderbilt.
Boy, Penn State, one loss, and they're all the way down to 23%.
Well, it was a blowout, Brown. It didn't go to overtime.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, it did go to overtime.
But here's the thing, to Lance's point. Penn State, what can James Franklin not do?
Win big games.
They've got 2 more left. One is Ohio State on the road, which they're probably going to lose. I mean, if right now you would say they lose to Ohio State on the road. Like, they can't win them in Happy Valley. Yeah. You think they're going to win one in Columbus?
Now, for whatever reason, Franklin does give Ohio State a little bit of trouble, but he doesn't win those games outside of 2016.
Right. So
yeah, I don't think they win that game.
So that gives them 2 losses in conference. And they follow that hosting Indiana, which on Saturday, November 8th, probably feels like a game for a playoff berth. Winner gets in, loser might stay home in that one. Now, that's assuming Indiana loses to Oregon, which I think they probably will. I mean, this is the Penn State is now in tricky territory based on what James Franklin normally cannot do.
So those are the ESPN FPI chances to make the college football playoffs. We'll need that graphic still, Forrester, here in a second, because Brown wanted to ask the question, since we changed the calendar from September to October, whose playoffs die in October, right after we tell you about a couple of our great sponsors. One of them is our buddy Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing. Your chance to get a free no-cost roof inspection. You just heard about the leaves starting to fall, temperatures changing. Man, spring and summer can be so hard on your roof. When's the last time you had that roof inspected? Do you even know what's going on up on your roof? Greg from Pell City and his staff will actually get up the ladder, get on your roof, and do an inspection up there. Do you have any water entry points through a loose shingle or around any fittings up there where water could be leaking in to your housing and causing some major damage? That's what that roof inspection will tell you. He'll also check the age of your roof, and many times some of our viewers, most of our viewers, in fact, have said Greg comes down off that roof and says, look, your roof is good for 3 more years, guys. You don't need me. No need to. A lot of people won't do that. They'd go ahead and say, man, that roof's old, man. Time to replace that roof. Greg says, you probably get 3 more years out of this roof before you need me to replace it. Free no-cost roof inspection, A-plus rated with the Better Business Bureau, family owned. He's got financing available for the deductibles. Great with your insurance providers. He does it all. Roof replacement, storm damage, storm restoration roofing. And our friends at Hemp Hill that bring you lanceslog.com. How'd you do in baseball yesterday?
We ended up splitting. We started out House of Fire 2-0, and then we had the Yankees and we had the Dodgers under. And the Dodgers go for a franchise postseason record with 5 home runs, 15 hits. Blake Snell was great, though.
You had a little Dunaway in you. You decided I'm going to play all the baseball games.
Yeah, we did. We did.
It's postseason. Come on.
Yeah, but October is here. Look, we had a great September. If you've been a subscriber the entire month of September, you know, coming off an 11-7 last week in college football, coming off a 4-2 in the NFL. We have been slaying it in Major League Baseball as well. We've got more postseason action available today. Always a free play at lanceslock.com. Always brought to you by our friends at Hemp Hill Services. Trust the name Birmingham has trusted since 1954 for all of your plumbing, heating, and cooling issues. Any of these arise in your home or business, they are ready to serve you. Call Adam, Chad, Andrew, the guys there. Hard to stop a train. For more information, hemphillservices.com.
One fact right here before we get that graphic back up for us, and we asked the question Brown wants to ask, whose playoff hopes crumble in October, now that it's October? Sort of the opposite of the sweet taste of pumpkin spice.
It's crumble cake.
Yeah,
We got crumble
you
cake.
get crumble cake with your playoffs crumbling. I just want to make this point. I would love somebody to check me out on this. As a head coach right now, is Dan Lanning 40-6 all time as a head coach?
Yeah, that sounds right.
Is he 40?
I'll double check it, but
40-6?
Yeah, he just loses the big games.
So he's had 6 big games.
He actually, he
won a Big Ten championship.
No, he's a 500 coach when it comes to top 25 games, and I think he's got 3 wins against top 10. So I say that jokingly, but he has lost some big games that I think the perception of Dan Lanning would be a little bit different as a 1 seed if they would have beaten Ohio State, and then 2 years ago with Washington.
500 against top 25 sounds bad, but it's probably putting you pretty high.
Probably in the top 4.
Yeah, top 4 or 5. All right, so 10-3, 12-2, 13-1. And now is 5-0. So, yeah, he is 40-6, 26-3 in conference games. Now, that is Pac-12 and Big Ten conference. He's never lost a Big Ten game.
Yeah, look,
obviously the Ohio State loss does not count as a Big Ten loss for him.
Mark Helfrich played for Oregon's last national championship in 2014, but outside of Chip Kelly, this is the best 3-year run they've been on.
40-6, man. That'll get it done right there. That's Kirby-esque. Saban-esque, better actually.
Yeah, but
when they started.
What you've got to do, the difference in those guys is they were winning championships. Now Oregon, unfortunately for Dan Lanning, everybody's going to look at these numbers, and that's all well and great, but now you're getting paid elite money, and the expectation is to bring Oregon its first championship since they've got that one, right? That's hidden somewhere.
Who, Oregon?
Yeah.
Why is it hidden?
No, I don't think they have a football.
I thought they claimed one.
I thought they were basketball national champions. Right?
They do have a basketball national championship.
Yeah.
I thought they claimed a random one.
I'll look and see. Let's see if Oregon football claims it.
I know that they did win the Big Ten last year, and I guess favored to win it again this year now. But it's that's a good record. He did say yesterday, coming back from his trip to Happy Valley, you check out our schedule. We will travel 15,000 miles in the regular season this year, and 7 of our opponents have more prep time than we do. They really want us in the Big Ten, he said sarcastically.
Wow. Well, they do. They've still got to go.
By the way, he's had, Brown, real quick, no problems with this conference. The one problem he had was in the postseason when they match up with Ohio State. But outside of that, they have dominated the regular season.
Yeah, officially they have lost no Big Ten games ever.
No.
Ever.
They have to go to Piscataway after they play Indiana.
That adds to the mileage.
That's going to add to the mileage. That's I'm assuming. Well, I guess Washington. If the Huskies go to Piscataway, that's your longest Big Ten road
probably
trip.
Probably LA, right?
You think USC or UCLA maybe?
Yeah. I don't know. I get out of whack on the map.
That's a whole way across the country for that one. A couple weeks later, you go all the way to Iowa City.
Yeah.
And then your last game is at least in Seattle.
That's right.
So you don't have to go far to play Washington.
Yeah, he was ready with 15,000 miles, and 7 teams have more prep time than we do.
Yeah. They
really want us in the Big Ten. Let's go down to the crumbling. Before we do that, let's get to the breaking news. Forrester wanted to point this out. Brian Snitker is out as the Braves skipper. This is your break line breaking news. Brian, you'll tell us about break line in just a second. But Snitker will not return as the manager of the Braves. That from sources telling the folks at ESPN. He informed the team of his decision yesterday, but he will remain with the organization in a senior advisory capacity. He's a guy who worked his way up the minor leagues, finally got a chance to be the skipper, won a World Series, underachieved this year, been decimated by injuries. Braves fans never really loved him, it seemed like.
Yeah, he went 6 straight NL East, and that's obviously a really, really good division when you look at the Phillies and you look at the Mets. And this is a guy that has, won a World Series before. The biggest Braves fan I know is our buddy Chop, Drew. And I asked him recently about Snitker just because of how bad the season went in the last couple of weeks. and he's kind of indifferent. He is kind of a polarizing guy, though, for a guy that's had a lot of success. I mean, I don't know what he averaged wins. I would say he probably averaged 92 wins per year. I'm just guessing.
I mean, Boone taking out Freed last night.
Oh, he's getting killed for it.
Yeah, that's a bad decision. I mean, I don't know why people hated Snitker. I mean, what does a manager really do? It seemed like it's a fall guy, you know? This guy worked his way
really
through the
does.
organization
I used
with
to
all the
bitch.
great minor leaguers that ended up being great.
Well, you have to have you got to have a scapegoat when your team has got a huge payroll and you don't know what's going on. So normally it's going to be the manager. I remember, before the Dodgers won it in 20, and then last year it was Dave Roberts. This guy's got to go. This guy's got to go. But, really, what was he doing wrong?
Yeah, what was he doing wrong? So Snitker's out. That's our break line breaking news.
Yeah, you can always get great-looking glasses at Breakline Optics, and right now you can save 30% with code TNR30. These glasses are built to last. They're so durable. They're built by people. They're made by people that love to be outdoors. So they're built to withstand the elements that you face at the beach, on the lakes, on the rivers. And right now, you can save code TNR30, save 30% with code TNR30. You cannot break these lenses. We've tried out back, just bashing those things into the asphalt. Could not break them. Code TNR30 to save 30% right now. BreaklineOptics.com. BreaklineOptics.com. Code TNR30.
And you can get by walk-ons today and watch all the baseball. Cranks back up. Same time, same channel for everybody yesterday. You got the big win there from Detroit 2-1. Scooble had 14 strikeouts. You got the Cubs winning. My buddy there sent me a great video of them singing the Chicago Cubs song after a win. They won 3-1. That's at 2 on ABC, 12 noon on ESPN for the early game. And then Red Sox, Yankees, and Reds, Dodgers again on ESPN tonight. Watch it all at Walk-Ons, where every day is game day, whether it's a post-win celebration, drinks after work, or taking the family for some made-from-scratch favorites. Walk-On, your go-to for good times and wall-to-wall TVs, craft beer, cocktails, and bold flavors for fans of all ages, from melty mozzarella logs to the Hall of Fame level burgers. Stop by today or order online in the app. Walk-On Sports Bistro, Trustful, Greystone, Stadium Trace. It's game on with our friends at Walk-Ons. Okay, so these playoff contenders, people that think they're in the playoff race, who's going to crumble in October? I'll go first.
Okay.
I'll go first. Can I see the big screen?
Yeah.
Can I see the top 20 again?
I'm going to see if you notice what some others have noticed in the chat about this. So go ahead.
The first one I'm going to go with is Vandy. I'll take Vandy off the board.
Okay,
it's
so
going to
Vandy's
crumble.
going to crumble.
Yeah. This is where playoffs are going to go to die.
Yeah.
So I'll take
Tuscaloosa. They die in Tuscaloosa.
Vandy.
Look, I mean, Vandy, Lance, we talked about it yesterday. They do have a very challenging schedule. It's hard because of the brand.
It's a second
seriously
most difficult schedule moving forward in college football.
It's hard because of the brand. I'm not going to lie about this. I think everybody would agree with this. It's hard because of the brand to really discuss them as a legitimate playoff contender. But it's even harder because of the schedule. And Scott is showing you, for those on audio only, after they play in Tuscaloosa Saturday, win or lose, doesn't really matter, because after the bye, LSU, Missouri, at Texas. That's your next three. They would be incredibly fortunate to be 1-3 in that stretch.
Yeah.
And that's enough to knock you out of the playoffs.
Oh, yeah.
It would be amazing to be 2-2.
Oh, gosh, yes.
I will go next, Scott. You saw my rendering of a Seminole.
Okay,
which we can draw that without getting beat up politically.
Yeah, and Lance is on this.
They're not on there.
This is what people in the chat have noticed, Lance. They're not on there.
Who? Miami?
Florida State.
No, I was not. I'm going Miami.
Florida State's back in.
Miami's about to get knocked out, because not only are they going to lose Saturday night in Tallahassee, they're going to lose next Friday, or in 2 Friday nights when they play Louisville.
So I was on line 3. You jumped all the way up to line 2.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I think Miami is going to be done after these next 2 weeks. I think October will take care of them, because after that they probably go 10-2. But then you've got to go back and what are they gonna? They're gonna lean on that Notre Dame win. That's all they're gonna have.
It's not doing much for you, is it?
Yeah, I think 10-2 does not get Miami in. I think they're out.
Yeah, but just so Lance landed on what people in the chat room had noticed. Just right now, without having played the Miami game, Florida State is below Southern Cal in the odds. Do you view them that way?
So Florida State coming up, if they win this game, you're going to have
wins. It's going to flip it.
Yeah, against 2 top 5 teams in Alabama and Miami. Florida State, you've still got Clemson on the road, and you've still got to go to Florida. I think Florida State's a better team than both of them right now. So I think they're right back on that graph after this weekend.
Again, these are percentages to make the college
That's
football
right.
playoff, Brown. I would tell you that there would be more Big Ten spots available.
There would be. Yeah,
than there would be ACC.
Yeah, it's why Texas Tech is so low, and then BYU. You got to figure out which of those two
Yeah.
is going to do this.
Just so few ACC spots available. Maybe only one, which is probably why Miami is on there, and you don't see a Florida State, and you see so many of the SECs and the Big Tens on there.
Yeah.
Just my observation. Do you crumble anybody that you see on the list or off the list?
Well, they are barely on the list, and I'm curious to Lance's thoughts on this. Do you think USC crumbles in October, Lance? Let me give you what they've got in October. Coming off a loss to Illinois, they only play 2 October games because they got 2 byes in October, but those are going to be 2 tough games. Michigan at home and at Notre Dame. Is there a chance they drop 3 straight?
Well, so I don't think there's a defense really that can stop USC.
Yeah.
Like you might be able to limit them to 28. I don't think Michigan's going to be able to score with USC, but I don't think they beat Notre Dame in South Bend.
Yeah, that doesn't necessarily. That's not a death blow right there.
No,
though.
it's not. But Oregon's going to be. I don't think.
Oh yeah, they'll eventually get there, but that's in November.
In October, no. I think they go 1-1 on October.
Because that was one I was looking at. I don't know your thoughts, Jim, but again, 2 games in October. That's all that USC plays. Michigan at home, at Notre Dame, and they have to win both of them.
Yeah. By the way, this team is too good to lose 3 straight. In my opinion, in the Big Ten.
I don't know if their defense is. I would agree with you on offensively. They should be too good.
Yeah, you can't host a true freshman quarterback if you're Lincoln Riley in year 4 and lose that game.
I would say this: if they
Coming off a bye,
if they do lose to Michigan,
yep, they're in trouble.
I don't want to depend on Lincoln Riley going to Notre Dame having to win that game to stay alive.
No.
That is not what I would want if I'm a USC fan.
What you want is a split here.
Yep.
To beat a good, grind it out against Nebraska, and then it comes down to a 1-game situation in the regular season to beat Oregon to get in.
Yeah.
I think you would take your chances there.
I would agree with you on that, yeah.
I'll go up to line 2. Georgia.
I was about to bring them up, Jim. Teams whose playoffs might die. Now, you and Scott are convinced that Auburn can beat them in Jordan-Hare. I don't know where Lance is on this.
Lance called it back in August.
That's true,
with
you
me.
did. Do you stand by that?
I do not stand by that.
Having now seen Auburn play.
Yeah.
I stand by it.
Well, if they do that, then they shockingly play Ole Miss, Jim.
Now, you
to
say
stay in
you've
the
got
playoffs.
Auburn friends. Do they appreciate, again, that they have lost back-to-back games and you're going to stick with it?
They've got to. They've got to because they've probably given up.
I don't. We don't really talk sports when I'm on the golf course with them.
You talk politics?
We don't talk politics. We talk about me being one over par on the 8 tee box and then mentally breaking down, having a full-fledged panic attack.
They know they could do that too,
I-
right? They're like,
I
God,
never-
Jim, this is the round of your life right now.
You really need therapy.
I really
It
never
was-
played golf with anybody that talks about golf. Like when we play.
While you're playing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We talk about everything
Generally talk
but.
about that. Well, they know that they can get to Jim, though. What they know is they're down in the bets, and Dunaway's like 1 over through 8, and like, God, Jim, this may be the best round you've ever played. And then,
Yeah.
No, if Georgia loses to Auburn, though.
oh, yeah, that Ole Miss game becomes.
Yeah,
I do not think they're losing at Auburn.
I don't either. I think Georgia's in. I think they got one more loss.
But if they do, I mean, all of a sudden.
Yeah, I think they're probably out because
Can I just throw? I mean,
Sure. Go ahead.
I know you guys know this, but just for the people that don't,
Okay.
in their last 7 Power 4 games, Georgia's 4-3, and their 3 of those wins have been in overtime.
The 3, though. Give me the 3. Their last Power 4
I mean,
losses.
so
they're
Alabama, Notre Dame,
and what was the one prior to that?
was it? They didn't lose to Georgia Tech, did they?
Nope.
No, they overtime win.
Who was the one prior to that? Hang on, I'll look
Was
it
it
up.
Alabama?
Could have been.
No.
Who else did they lose to in the regular season last year? At Ole Miss.
At Ole Miss, yeah.
So there you go. In your discussion here, you got Ole Miss beating them 2 years in a row. If Georgia loses to Auburn and they're playing for their lives, you trust Lane Kiffin in that situation?
No, but my point on Georgia is we watched the Tennessee game.
Uh-huh.
That's one of their 4 wins in the last 7 Power 4 games.
That's right. Could have easily been a loss.
It was a virtually a chippy field goal to win it.
And I don't know how good Tennessee is.
You guys watched the Georgia Tech game.
I did. They could have easily lost that one too.
Several times.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm
that number is.
That's the same thing we're saying about Alabama. It's a different world.
Yeah, I'm just saying that's a different Georgia that'll be rolling in, and they're not as scary defensively going into Jordan-Hare Stadium. I thought they were going to be more dynamic throwing the football.
I think they can be. I think Mike Bobo, I know Kirby really respects him, but he's going to have to tell him to get his head out of his ass. You got to take – because when you've got running backs like Frazier and he can't put it on the ground, and then Bowens, and you've got what you've got on the perimeter, and it seems like Gunnar Stockton is a quarterback, much like Ty Simpson, that the moment's not too big. Gunnar did nothing to lose in that game on Saturday night.
I mean, he didn't really do anything to win them. Well,
he did not.
He hit a receiver.
That was a beautiful pass.
I'll say that. He hit a receiver right in stride for a touchdown. And, I mean, it ain't on him that the receiver didn't haul it in. And against Alabama, pass yards were
one blown coverage.
Yeah.
Other than that, it was 92 yards.
But he's
That's
been
right.
handcuffed. When they had to rely on him throwing against two corners that were down, in Neyland, he made the throws he had to make.
Yeah.
So, I've got confidence Gunnar can actually play at a really high level. I think the biggest problem for Georgia, in my opinion, play calling is interesting, and I think up front on that defensive line, they don't have the dogs they used to have.
Can I sell you
Literally.
one more?
One more.
Do we need to do a commercial real quick?
No,
Okay,
no,
let me
no,
sell you one
no.
more because Bama fan 1972 asked about this one. He said, do Texas. Now, there are the Texas is a tricky one.
No, it starts
Well, it
this
starts
week.
Saturday. I mean, Saturday is the day because, again, I'm getting sucked back into this stupid Florida team thinking they can beat Texas. I don't know why. Every time I think Florida can win a game.
Well, I mean, Texas' last 20 games, they're 16-4. How long did it take Nick Saban to lose 4 games?
It took a while.
Back in the day, how long did it take Kirby to lose 4 games?
Yeah.
Again, back to your point with Georgia and their last 7, it's just difficult to win these games now.
Yeah, I love the way ABC, ESPN cleared the slate so that Miami and Florida State will draw good numbers.
Uh-huh.
I mean, why are we playing Texas and Florida at 2:30 on ESPN opposite of Vandy and Alabama
I agree.
on ABC?
Well,
that should be your primetime game in the swamp.
When they set that, they're probably like, well, Vandy, Alabama, at least we get Alabama's brand on TV.
You know what I've noticed?
They didn't know what this was going to be.
This year, and you guys tell me if I'm wrong, how many 11 o'clock games there are. And I think these networks look to Fox, and they're like, man, this Big Noon's been killing it. So
why let them take all the rankings?
So let's try to go. There's just so many freaking 11 o'clock games that it seemed like there used to be 7 or 8.
Yeah. So those are some teams that could crumb. Obviously, we don't think all those are going to make the playoffs. I mean, I don't necessarily think Texas A&M will be there. I don't necessarily think Oklahoma will be there. I don't necessarily think, Missouri will be there. I don't necessarily think.
I think your top line is there, all 4. I think your second line, I would take 2. I think your third line, I would take 2. I think your fourth line, I would take 2. I think my fifth line,
I think you're
I
over
would
12.
take 2.
You're over 12, I think.
I don't think so.
I think you've added too many.
Wait,
You did 10.
6,
You took 2 off.
8, 10,
No.
12. That's
Okay,
12.
okay, you got
yeah.
12. All right, okay.
So I got my 12 right there.
Trying to keep you honest.
Was one of those a group of 5? Did you take Memphis or something?
I mean, I'm going to take them just because they're up there. Yeah, but it was I took on that line. I took Memphis and Missouri. I think Missouri is going to get in.
One more thing to get to after LT tells us about the great folks at Inverness Country Club, your chance to have a little fun in life with the fam.
Well, look, they've got memberships that fit everyone, maybe relocated or retired. Inverness, great place to network. You've heard about the child care. We've got friends that are members out there. They love going out for a day on the course, dropping the kid right there on site, having dinner with friends right there on site, knowing the kid is safe. It's a massive plus. Whatever your interest are, you can find it at Inverness. Call today. Get a tour of this unbelievable club. Call Aaron. Tell her the next round sent you. 205-991-8608. 205-991-8608. Tell them the next round sent you. Ask for Aaron. You can go online, iccalabama.com. Best days happen at Inverness Country Club.
Listen, in political terms, you always had to have your candidate ready for the question. The question would be, why do you want to be president of the United States? Why do you want to be a senator from the state of Alabama? Why do you want to be the governor? You need to have a good answer when somebody asks you why. When you're a head coach in a college, you need to have the answer ready. When somebody asks you, hey, man, your name's being mentioned for this job.
Oh, no.
You need to have an answer ready.
Oh, does he fumble?
So here's Rhett Lashlee, who gets asked about his name being linked to the Arkansas job, but oh, by the way, it's being linked to the Virginia Tech job. It would be linked to the Auburn job. It would be linked to any job that comes open right now. Rhett Lashlee's name is going to be somewhere on the list. So Rhett Lashlee gets asked about his name being linked to the Arkansas job.
Your name has been linked to the Arkansas job, obviously. Where do you stand on that? How do you react when your name is in these rumors this time of year?
Yeah, I mean, I don't stand anywhere on speculation and hypotheticals. So I'm happy. I've got a great job. I think when your name gets linked to jobs, it means your team has done well, the program has done well. So it's a compliment to what our staff and administration and players have built over the last 3+ years. And then a lot of times there's obvious connections. I mean, if it's your alma mater, it's easy to link names, but I haven't given it any thought because there hasn't been anything to give thought to. It's a great, fair question, but I'm really excited with what we're building here. I'm not discouraged at all by the fact that we're sitting here at 2-2. I think when you look at it, we've got a chance to go 1-0 in the league this year, which would be 9 straight conference games to start the ACC. I think what we've began to build is really fun, and what we can build is even more special. We got an excellent recruiting class that's freshmen right now. We got a top 25 recruiting class in 26, and a lot of guys on this roster that can come back. And so those are the guys that we're focused on. So, you just – until there's things to talk about, you don't talk about them. Internally we haven't said a word about it because in my world nothing's going on. Outside of the world, there's a lot of that speculation, and that's part of our business, and it's probably not going anywhere.
I give it a B+,
okay,
maybe an A-. He leaves the door open there.
He did.
Yeah. There's just a lot there.
Yeah, just left the door open there. If it's really nothing to talk about yet. I would have rather it been a little. You could have just stopped there.
Most of the time, most of the time when you're dodging a question, the longer you talk, the worse you do. And he did go a little long, but here's what I noticed, Lance. He downplayed leaving SMU and then followed up with his resume. It's doing a really good job recruiting here. If we win this weekend, we're 9 straight ACC wins.
Well, again, he's got good representation.
He does.
Sure they tell him how to handle these things.
So I kind of like it. Like, no, we're not going anywhere. But if anybody's interested, let me just give you my resume right here, if you don't mind looking at that. But again, I'm very happy where I am.
Do you guys think if Arkansas offers, he takes it?
I don't know. I need to know the NIL commitment on both sides.
I'm starting to think he does.
I know one thing that scared me away was when Hunter Yurachek said Sam Pittman didn't have the resources to win,
but
the appropriate resources to win in this league. But sometimes that allows you to rattle the checkbooks of people, and let's get to appropriate resources.
Well, not only is Rhett Lashlee smart enough to know what he's going to need, but I think his representation, they would sit down and be like, okay, we're going to outline this, and this is going to be in the contract that we're getting X amount of dollars per year in order for me to sign a contract like this.
For NIL.
For NIL, for everything. And I'm starting to think, and dude, it's October, I'm starting to think Lane Kiffin is going to go to Florida. I'm starting to think Rhett Lashlee is going to go to Arkansas.
Well,
I've got those feelings.
Well, if that
by the way, I was right on something again last year that we never gave me credit for.
Okay.
I said Nick Saban's final year. I called Bruce Pearl's final year, too.
You sure did. I forgot about that. Yeah, you did do that. It took us a while to get around to that one.
Yeah. The timing was weird.
I felt like I did that, too.
Okay.
Yeah, all the way through the year. Here we go. Before LT tells us about Odie's, I need you to tell me about MyBookie. And MyBookie, also a great sponsor of a new show. It's a new name, same people. It's called The Last Call now. It used to be Elephant in the Room. Now it's called The Last Call. Mick Gillespie, Jake Coker, twice a week, and then post-game after Alabama games on Saturday. You can get that here on the Next Round platform. And the first one is, as you can see right there, up and available as we speak. Last Call with Mick Gillespie and Jake Coker, former national championship winning quarterback, and as you can tell by his backdrop, a proud American. And Mick, as you can tell by his backdrop, a cool guy that loves a cold beer.
That's right.
I didn't realize both. Maybe that is their off mic, something they share. They're both deadheads, I guess.
Oh, okay.
I never would have pinned that with a Coker.
Yeah,
Me either. That's the last call right there. It's available right now. The first episode of the new brand, Last Call with Mick Gillespie and Jay Coker. It is up on this platform, so you can search it. Same place you get the next round right there. It's Last Call. A couple of times a week. Set your alerts so that you get that when it's available, and then live post-game on the weekend, brought to you by Pearl River Resort there. This show being brought to you by our great friends at Odie's.
Odie's Tavern tonight will be out there. Kicking off October with a little Odie's team trivia. We do it every Wednesday night, the original location at Crestline. We start up a little after 8 o'clock, get there early, enjoy the Rodney Davis food that he's been doing for almost 4 decades, award-winning wings, delicious burgers, great sandwiches, ice-cold beer buckets full of the Bud Light. 2 locations, the one we'll be at tonight, Crestline. Newest location in Edgewood. Birmingham Institution is Odie's Tavern.
Vanderbilt, 10.5-point underdogs. They come to Tuscaloosa to take on the Alabama Crimson Tide. Alabama, 10.5-point home favorite, total of 55.5 in that one. We were talking about Texas, Florida. Florida's still a 7-point home dog, total of very low total, 42.5 in that one. And the night game that we Dunaway said we cleared the schedule for, which they did, Florida State. A 4.5-point home favorite, total of 54.
Florida State's a favorite?
It's a dog, excuse me.
Okay.
4.5-point home dog, excuse me. Thank you for the correction there.
You're welcome.
Those games can all be played right there at mybookie.ag. You'll be playing the correct line in the Florida State-Miami game, not the one I gave you. Mybookie.ag. Code next round. When you sign on at mybookie.ag and use code next round as you sign on, they're going to back you up with a $500 up to $500 bet back guarantee. Here's how that works. You make your first play up to $500. If you lose, that money goes right back into your account, and you can play right away again. So easy to do. We don't talk enough about their casino. The casino and the live casino right there at mybookie.ag as well. So as the games are going on or when the game's in, just bounce over to that casino and play there as well. It's all right there at mybookie.ag. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere. mybookie.ag, code next round to get that $500 bet back bonus and jump on those casinos as well at mybookie.ag.
Follow Scott Forrester on Twitter at ScottForresterTV.
Have you been injured in an 18-wheeler accident, company truck accident, car accident, or work-related accident? Call Alabama's largest personal injury firm. Alexander Shinara Trial Attorneys will fight for every dollar you deserve, and it won't cost you a dime. Trust me. What do you say, man?
Call me, Alabama.
Call 659-777-7777 or go to Shinara.com.
No representation made that the legal services provided are better than legal services provided by other attorneys.
This is what being a NASCAR fan is all about. Singular history and tradition.
Thank you, everybody, for coming out.
And triple header playoffs action to ratchet up the stakes. Throw in a can't miss concert, and you've got more than a race. You've got Talladega. NASCAR Playoffs weekend at Talladega, October 17th through the 19th. Get your tickets now at TalladegaSuperspeedway.com. Ticketmaster, the official ticketing partner of NASCAR.
Hey, let me tell you about our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama. Compassionate and comprehensive urological care with 35 physicians, 17 locations across Alabama. Their patient-centered approach to all of your urological needs. Remember, they've got that new men's health center. It is beautiful, helping men with a wide range of sensitive male issues in a comfortable environment. You can always go online, visit urologycentersalabama.com, schedule an appointment with one of their many urologists today. Get all your favorite Next Round gear all in one place, nextround.store. From our Next Round hats to the logo tees to the all-time best-selling Y'all Can Have the Rest shirt, you can look your best by shopping with us at nextround.store. Take the Next Round anywhere with nextround.store. Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop, rare quality, well-done service.
This hour of the Next Round is presented by the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, now featuring 7 days of giveaways with your chance to win a share of up to $125,000. The more you visit the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, the more chances you have to win.
Hey, for all of your IT and printing needs, reach out to our friends at Xerox Business Solutions. Look, I'm still one of those old school guys. I print my notes every single day for the show. If you watch the show here on the next round, you see all the notes in front of me. From day one, Xerox Business Solutions, they've been with us here at the next round. Local for over 45 years. For all of your IT and printing needs, visit XeroxBusinessSolutions.com or call 205-969-3000. That's 205-969-3000.
Remember the name Way to Wellness if you're battling weight loss in your life. I'm Jim Dunaway from the next round. There was a time I was over 216 pounds until Way to Wellness helped me lose 45 pounds, and now for over 2 years, they've helped me keep that weight off. Here's their website, aplanforme.com, aplanforme.com. That's a great name for a website because there's no cookie-cutter plan. Everything is designed specifically for you. No contract, no sign-up fees, and your first consultation is free at Way to Wellness.
It's bow time. Tired of choosing between sweet and savory? Why not have both? Introducing Bojangles' new chicken and bowberry waffles. The bold Cajun chicken filet you love, now drizzled with a bowberry honey glaze and sandwiched between two warm waffles. Which means your favorite meal of the day just met your new favorite dish. And lucky for you, it's served all day. But it's only here for a limited time, so try chicken and bowberry waffles at Bojangles today. It's bow time.
Connor O'Gara will be in our preview screen here in a second, and he will jump on with us. When he does, we will talk college football with him. A couple of more college football things after Brownie tells us about Bojangles.
You can make it bow time for your college football weekend with Bojangles, whether it is the tailgate parties, whether it is those watch parties at your house, tailgates, like I said, at the college or the high school games. Let Bojangles cater those for you and enjoy those great hand-breaded tenders that Bojangles brings to the plate there. It is fantastic, a fantastic way to celebrate a college football weekend, and they got those great dipping sauces that go with them as well. So you can make it bow time for your college football and high school football parties. Don't forget, on your way to work or school tomorrow, that pork chop griller is back for a limited time at Bojangles. You loved it. It loved you. You've been separated. Go reunite with the pork chop griller on your way to school or work tomorrow. Make it bow time.
Dabo Swinney, Clemson, 1-3.
Mm-hmm.
He says yesterday, the bottom line is it's, quote, an absolute coaching failure, the lack of performance so far. You like Dabo taking responsibility here. Absolute coaching failure from him through the staff.
Okay, well, if he's talking about himself, I love the accountability. I wonder internally if it's more Garrett Riley, like this just is not working out. Tom Allen blows me away too. Like, I thought Tom Allen taking over this defense, and I don't know if you guys recall this, there were a lot of people like Herb Street early on talked about three coordinators that really could change the game for programs, and Tom Allen was one of the guys he pointed out from Clemson. And Tom is a well-respected defensive coordinator, but the defense hasn't been great. The offense has been awful. So Dabo's dead on here. I do like the accountability.
I mean, they're at 22.8. I'm just going to see where they finished scoring defense last year. 22.8 this year. Last year they were at 23.4. So he's improved that by less than a full point.
But bigger problem is 1-3.
Yeah, 1-3. And, I mean, it's more on offense than defense, though.
It is.
Yeah, that's why Tom Allen doesn't get the finger pointed.
And if you're Garrett Riley, you don't have an excuse. Like, you've been in the system now 3 years. You've had a quarterback that's been in the system 3 years. Antonio Williams was one excuse, but that doesn't cause you to lose the games that you're losing right now.
Yeah, it's just been a coaching failure, honestly. That's the best way I can say it. We have just failed as coaches. But he goes on to say, I'm not taking accountability away from the players, too. They've got some accountability in this. You have some guys that just have to play better. They're not just on scholarship anymore. Some of these guys are paid a lot of money to perform, and everybody's got a little accountability in this.
He's right.
Yeah.
I mean, look, these guys are getting paid now.
Yep.
So, look, you can absolutely – I have no problem. It gets to a point sometimes you don't want to – as long as you're taking accountability, too, there is nothing wrong with if you've got guys that have been in the system for a while and they're earning a lot of money, they should be accountable as well.
Yep. All right, one more sponsor before we get to Connor. Please, Brownie, tell us about the wonderful folks at Talladega getting ready for our playoff race. Hey, Brownie, it's October. You know what comes to Talladega
Is that NASCAR playoffs in October?
Playoffs, yeah.
Will playoff hopes go to die at Talladega,
Yes.
Jim? They can die there. TalladegaSuperspeedway.com is where you can go watch all of that great playoff action and all 3 series starting Friday night with the Truck Series, the Xfinity Series on Saturday, and then the Yellowwood 500 on Sunday. 877-GO-TO-DEGA to reserve your spot in the grandstands, in the infield, in the camping area for any of those races for the entire weekend. And don't forget Whiskey Myers, the Saturday night concert right there at Talladega. Your ticket gets you into that concert as well. You can see all the information I'm talking about here and the Coolray Garage Experience, which is the most immersive in NASCAR, to enhance your day at Talladega. All of that at TalladegaSuperspeedway.com or call 877-GO-TO-DEGA.
And our friends at Way to Wellness. That's the world's fastest speedway. If you want to be a faster version of you, drop a few pounds over the next few months. You can do that with Way to Wellness, your journey to healthy living. That's what Leslie and her board-certified team are the specialists at. They're fantastic at helping you jumpstart your weight loss. You just start by going to the website at planforme.com. What you will find there is a variety of different tools that can help you. They have injection therapy, meal replacements, dietary plans for that will help you with sleep apnea or if you've got diabetes. I use these protein bars. I'm going to have one in a second, one for breakfast, and then it keeps me from bad snacking throughout the day. I'll just drop a protein bar and boom, it fills me up right there. That's just part of my plan. Every plan is different at Way to Wellness. No cookie cutter plan. Get more details at planforme.com. No contracts, no sign-up fees, and the first consultation is free. A number of Next Round viewers and listeners going through the program right there. You can join them at planforme.com. It's Way to Wellness, your journey to healthy living. Speaking of Way to Wellness and being in better shape, I never thought we would be in this situation, but here we are. I've now got to worry about a situation where we may be poolside or beachside at an SEC Media Days without my shirt on. Never thought that would be a situation ever that could happen because I thought we'd always be in Birmingham. And then I thought we'd be in Atlanta or Nashville or Dallas. All of a sudden, we're freaking going to Tampa, Florida.
What in the world?
For Media Days next year?
Not me.
Based on the text thread, you might have used the word "we" loosely.
Hate that town. Houston's worse. Memphis is worse. But
what are we doing?
I don't know. That's stupid.
Name the second closest city, SEC city, to Tampa.
Gainesville is one.
Okay, what's the next one?
Auburn?
Auburn, probably.
Auburn?
As the bird flies, maybe it's Baton Rouge. I don't know.
No, I think it's probably
Auburn. Probably.
As the bird flies, maybe Baton Rouge. I'd still say Auburn.
Okay, so Baton Rouge to
bird flies though. You got to go direct.
I know. I'm just doing regular miles.
I mean, I mean, and God bless you if you're from Oklahoma or whatever. It's just a. I mean, we're going to Tampa. Hey, by the way, basketball tournament didn't work in Tampa.
Right, SEC Media Days. You think it will?
I mean, it will work because we will be there as SEC media people. I just the thought of being in a tropical, somewhat destination with a beach and/or pool and SEC media people being shirtless. No bueno for me.
Yeah, not even close. Auburn, 370 miles, almost 550 miles from Baton Rouge.
Yeah.
All right, Tampa, second closest city.
Yeah,
Auburn.
I would say that the percentage of media members that need to be shirtless, one.
Connor O'Gara is with us.
Better odds of Clemson rallying for the playoffs and the FPI.
Okay. Connor O'Gara is with us Saturday down south. He'll be shirtless in Tampa. What is up, Connor? How are you?
Look, I don't appreciate the Florida slander for people that don't have to fly everywhere all the time to get to some place in the SEC. When I saw that news come out, and I had heard rumors of potentially Orlando, but there was a lot of some whispers about it just coming to the Sunshine State, and I'm here for it. And I realized Tampa's not SEC. It's not. I don't care. I only have to drive an hour and 15, hour and 20 minutes to be able to get there. I don't have to get on a plane to go somewhere. I'm all for it as somebody that has to fly everywhere to get someplace in the SEC, except for this Saturday when I drive 2 hours to the swamp. Other than that, I have to fly everywhere. So I'm here for it, and I will hear no such slander.
I know why you like it, because you guys love karaoke, and all the cheese dicks in Florida love karaoke too. So this could be perfect for you guys.
I haven't been called that before. I can't say I have. I don't even know how to respond to that, LT.
No, I wasn't talking about you being a cheese dick. I'm talking about the Floridians overall.
These are my people.
Okay.
These are my people.
You're insulting his people.
I stand for them. Yeah.
Connor O'Gara is with us Saturday Down South and all the great places he is. What did Vandy do right last year that beat Alabama? I think a lot of Alabama people just sort of take it as self-inflicted Alabama damage. But did Vandy do things right last year that they can replicate this year?
Yeah, I mean, they can. It doesn't mean that they're going to beat Alabama a second year in a row, which, by the way, since 2016, nobody's beaten Alabama in consecutive seasons outside of Michigan, doing that 2023, 2024. This is a very tall task, but it was definitely a lot of self-inflicted wounds for Alabama. It was also some offensive wizardry from Tim Beck. If you go back and watch that game plan and the things that Diego Pavia was doing before he suffered that knee injury against Kentucky when Deion Walker just fell on his leg, Diego Pavia could stretch the field. Junior Searle was making plays. Eli Stowers, who came in to this season as a preseason All-American tight end, like he's the safety valve on third down. Vandy's a better team this year than they were last year. And in a weird way, and Jim, I know we've kind of gone back and forth about this because I'll stand up for Vandy. Vandy's a good football team. It's a good football team. Like, they have improved in the trenches. Clark Lee stepping back into his head coaching role and not being the defensive play caller, passing those duties to Steve Gregory. They are an improved football team that was 8th in the country in percentage of returning production, but replicating what they did last year would need an Alabama team that doesn't know its identity defensively. That was the thing that you could say, even with the way that things played out against Georgia. Alabama really doesn't know who it is defensively yet. I think they have a better idea this year. Getting healthier last week, I think, was really important for Alabama. So, yeah, it's going to be a fascinating matchup. I think it is more beneficial for Kalen DeBoer that he's seeing a Vandy team that's ranked, which, by the way, he's only lost 3 games to ranked opponents, 16-3 against AP Top 25. 4 losses to unranked teams during his time at Alabama. So you do the math on that one.
Best team in Tennessee, Vanderbilt?
Not willing to go there yet, but it's a conversation. It's a conversation. And Tennessee has been, Cole Kublik brought this point up on my show a couple of weeks ago, and I agree with it. The Tennessee offense has been the best surprise in the SEC this year. And I think seeing what they did last week at Mississippi State, a game that they just had to find a way and found a way with defensive touchdowns and whatnot. I would still say that Tennessee has the edge there. I think that last year's result was pretty decisive in Nashville for me to pull back on that, albeit a pretty different Tennessee offense. But it's at least a conversation in ways that I don't think a lot of people were expecting coming into the season.
Connor O'Gara with us at CJ O'Gara is where you find him on social media. He's with Saturday Down South, and he's with us on the Alexander Shinara Trial Attorneys Hotline. So you say you're making that long cross-state trek to Gainesville. Don't have to fly this week. Get to go to Gainesville. Every time, I cannot quit Florida. I can't quit them. I guess I'm just trying to be right because I had them in the college football playoff, and they have been sorely disappointing. Why do I believe it again this week, Connor? Why do I believe it again this week?
I don't know. You tell me.
I don't know. I mean, like Texas has struggled. Florida's got a good defense. It's on the road. I mean, there's a path there.
There's a path. It's a game in the swamp wherein they've at least been a better team under Billy Napier than away from the swamp. That's not really a bold proclamation. The defense is fine.
Yeah.
The defense is good. It's not one of these all-world units, but ask Auburn fans what it's like when you have a good defense and an offense that can't stop turning the football over, or they can't really move the ball downfield the way that you'd like them to be able to. And Florida would just like to get to 2024 Auburn levels of offense at this point. I mean, it's a disaster. I've been saying for a while, it's the worst hang in the SEC. That's the Florida offense. But it's not like the Texas offense with Arch Manning has looked the part the first month of the season. Now, Arch has still been able to do things that DJ Lagway cannot, which is stretch the field, get those chunk plays. They're getting healthier in their backfield. Texas is with CJ Baxter, Trey Wisner, those guys expected to come back. Mosley coming back at receiver for them. It's like the Texas offense has more things working in its favor. But the thing that I can't get past, I don't know how Florida's scoring the ball against this Texas defense. First in the country in yards per play allowed. They are stacked. I mean, just absolutely stacked. Florida's going to need a non-offensive touchdown to win this game. That's really the only way that I can sell myself on a Florida victory, because Billy Napier still won't acknowledge that the best player in his offense exists, which is Jaden Baugh. And that's a troubling thing when Billy Napier doubles down on his play calling abilities.
Whose struggles have been, more surprising for you? Arch Manning with Sark or DJ Lagway? I'm just talking about based on expectations.
Yeah, I mean, I think you could point to Lagway's struggles and say, well, we could see this coming a little bit with the injuries that happened in the first part of camp, the lack of rapport that he had with his receivers after not being able to throw in spring ball. So I could justify that a little bit. The things that have held Arch Manning back are more baffling to me. And seeing him struggle with his mechanics so sloppy. I mean, on throws 0 to 9 yards, he's averaging 3.6 yards per attempt. That's where those mechanical issues have really popped up for him. And you see the reaction that he has against Sam Houston State, where he's standing over the defender and talking trash. This is a guy that's going through stuff. I think regardless of how you feel about his first month of football, he's very clearly working through some stuff mentally more than anything else. And this is a guy who was thriving in that area last year, and his mechanics look so much better. And so I think that's the thing for Steve Sarkisian that's been a little bit more tough to stomach is how do you work through that? What's going to be his get right? They're going to rely more on the quarterback run game in SEC play. I think they were a little bit afraid to do that with the 3 favorable matchups that they had post Ohio State. But yeah, I mean, I think the shortcomings have been more alarming probably with the things that have held him back in the first part of this season.
That was a great opportunity for Connor O'Gara to be a cheese, you know what, there. If you would have said, not Arch, not DJ, I'll take Garrett Nussmeier for $500.
Golly, I should have, because I picked LSU to win a national championship, and this was not the version of Garrett Nussmeier I thought we were going to get. I thought there was a good chance this LSU defense would look as good as it has in the first part of the year. It's not a defense that's quite as good as Texas, in my opinion, though. It's not a defense that's going to be like top 2 in the country, and they can just kind of float on by with a top 40 offense. LSU ain't even close to a top 40 offense at this point. Garrett Nussmeier doesn't look right. He doesn't look right. And I was going to give them the benefit of the doubt if they had come into Ole Miss, and even if they had lost in a shootout. Like, this was the one game I had LSU losing coming into this season, wherein I picked them to win a national title. And I thought long-term it was going to be kind of good for their offense to get going. They play in one of these games that's like a 35-28 game that they lose, and they just can't make the plays on the stretch. That's not what this is, though. And you saw when they didn't have Caden Durham out there, they didn't have any running game to even pretend to think about. And I think it's really alarming. You saw Aaron Anderson go down in the first part of that game, and their passing game just had no identity outside of that 15-play, 80-yard drive. They were lost, and this is really, really troubling. I don't necessarily bank on them to figure things out during the bye week.
I know when I asked you this a couple of months ago, you were like, oh, wow, because you're an Indiana guy. Where are you now on my man Fernando Mendoza, number 1 quarterback off the board to the New Orleans Saints, the Cuban Missile, maybe winning a Heisman Trophy this year? I know the numbers weren't great, and there was more out of him running 40 yards for a safety to bust up some numbers in that second half. But I thought overall he played pretty damn well against that Iowa defense in a tough environment.
The number everybody was talking about should have been 7.5.
Right.
Going from 7 to 5, that doesn't do anything. I didn't get that. I didn't really buy that as much.
I think it was a second half total.
Yes, second half total was 5.5, I think.
Okay, gotcha. All right, that makes a little bit more sense to me. No, he's been great. He's been better than advertised, and I thought the Illinois game was going to slow him down. I thought that Illinois defense was going to be able to do some things to give him some problems, and it turns out it was just Iowa a week later. But that was the first time under Signetti that Indiana has beat a team that I think will go to a bowl game in a true road game. And I think going into Iowa, I predicted Iowa was gonna upset Indiana. People go into Kinnick and don't come out alive. I mean, that's just the way that it's worked for Iowa, even in their down years. So yeah, I've been unbelievably impressed. Indiana's a playoff team, and going 10-2 is now a real thing that I'm still having to process. If Indiana makes a playoff for the second consecutive year, I think I have to stop saying to people I didn't go to a school that had football.
We were only known for basketball. And my, how that has flipped. It's pretty crazy to see. He is Connor O'Gara at CJ O'Gara on social media. He's about to record a show. You can get all his content there. Follow him on social media and at Saturday Down South. Connor, thank you very much for the time. Always great talking with you.
Gentlemen, appreciate it.
All right, buddy. Take care. Connor with us on the Alexander Shinara Trial Attorneys Hotline.
And the show being brought to you today by our friends at Twin Peaks. LT, tell us about the cold beer and the wonderful scenery when you go to the Peaks.
Yeah, hey, more Major League Baseball. We've got NFL Week 5 kicking off tomorrow night with San Francisco and the Rams. If you're looking for a great place to watch all of the action, you need to stop into Twin Peaks, home of the 29-degree signature drafts. Twin Peaks girls running around everywhere in 3D for lunch or dinner. Don't forget about happy hour. No one does it like Twin Peaks. Whatever your preference, they've got everything from the tequila cocktails, extensive bourbon category, to top shelf spirits and cocktails served over the ice balls, local and craft beers, handcrafted whiskey cocktails. Round out that adventurous drink menu second to none. Stop in today to one of those great locations of Twin Peaks.
Hey, look around your house next chance you get, or if you're at home enjoying the show right now, what rooms in your house would you honestly say, if I could do it all over, I would do this one differently? That's where a guy like Brad Bell comes into play, right? You live in your home or you want to sell your home, one of those two. And if you're living in it and you're going to be there a minute, you want to make it the best it can be while you're living there. If you're about to sell it, you want to get the most you can for your money. That's where Brad Bell comes into play. When it came time to redo the master bath in the Brown house, my wife Jennifer scoured the internet looking for the right person for the job. Brad Bell was the guy she picked, and his crews did amazing work. Scott shows you a lot of before and afters on our video feed. You can see more and get more information about Brad's crews there at alabamabathremodels.com. That's alabamabathremodels.com. I'll tell you what he specializes in. It's not to say it's all he does, but he specializes in master bath, kitchen, and master bedroom closets. Key rooms when you own your house, rooms you can make some money back when you go to sell your house. So call Brad to get a quote, 205-422-1758, 205-422-1758, or visit him online, alabamabathremodels.com.
Follow LT on Twitter at @TheLanceTaylor.
Yo, kinfolk, what's good, man? Let me holler at you for a minute. You know how life can be life. You're out there chasing that dollar. Every dollar is accounted for going somewhere. Then all of a sudden, bam! Out of nowhere, a car accident. All I had to do was hit up my people at Alexander Shinara Trial Attorney. You already know when that dude Alex pulls up the trial, he shuts down the litigation situation. Yo, go to Shinara.com. Hit him up at 659-777-7777.
Call me, Alabama.
No representation and legal services provided are better than any other provider.
This is what being a Ticketmaster, the official ticketing partner of NASCAR.
What a matchup we've got, folks. Just nonstop action. The energy is electric and the fans are all in. An intense game like this calls for a Coca-Cola. Ah, crisp and refreshing. That's a game changer. Yeah, that taste scores every time. And just like that, they're back at it. Passionate fans and an ice-cold Coca-Cola. Now that's a winning combo. No matter the team, no matter the sport, everyone knows fan work is thirsty work. Enjoy a Coca-Cola.
Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop, rare quality, well-done service.
Catch up on all of today's Next Round on demand through the podcast platform of your choice. Apple, Spotify, iHeart, or Google Podcasts. Wherever you listen, always like, follow, subscribe, and turn on automatic downloads so you never miss any part of the Next Round.
Hey, for all of your IT and printing needs, reach out to our friends at Xerox Business Solutions. Look, I'm still one of those old school guys. I print my notes every single day for the show. If you watch the show here on the Next Round, you see all the notes in front of me. From day one, Xerox Business Solutions, they've been with us here at the Next Round. Local for over 45 years. For all of your IT and printing needs, visit XeroxBusinessSolutions.com or call 205-969-3000. That's 205-969-3000.
Get all your favorite Next Round gear all in one place. NextRound.store. From our Next Round hats to the logo tees to the all-time best-selling Y'all Can Have the Rest shirt. You can look your best by shopping with us at NextRound.store. Take the Next Round anywhere with NextRound.store.
Storm season is here. Make sure you have a plan of action in place right now. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing should be your first call when storms hit. Insurance companies love working with Storm Restoration Roofing because of Greg Nelson's name and reputation in the industry. When storms hit, call Greg Nelson. He's local, 205-542-3531. He's the home of the free no-cost roof inspection. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531. It's Storm Restoration Roofing.
It's bow time. Tired of choosing between sweet and savory? Why not have both? Introducing Bojangles' new chicken and bowberry waffles. The bold Cajun chicken filet you love, now drizzled with a bowberry honey glaze and sandwiched between two warm waffles. Which means your favorite meal of the day just met your new favorite dish. And lucky for you, it's served all day. But it's only here for a limited time, so try chicken and bowberry waffles at Bojangles today. It's bow time.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, the next round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
You know, it's so many good teams in college football. We were just talking about this in the break. Like, we've spread out the good teams. But I don't know how we can have a weekend when you got so many good teams, a weekend that is this C+ of a schedule.
Well, I mean, outside the SEC, it's an F.
Yeah, I on paper, here's what I would say, though. Every week we've got a handful of overtime games. So
we do.
Although it looks bad on paper, and I agree with that, I still think we're going to get a lot of one-possession, fantastic games.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. It'll be like the NFL where you think it's going to be a crappy weekend in the NFL, and you end up having some great games. I mean,
well, it's not name brand. Iowa State Cincinnati ought to be a really good game. I mean, it's ESPN too.
Cincinnati would be unbeaten if not for the loss to Nebraska.
That's right.
Yeah,
right.
But those aren't name brand.
He's a really, really good quarterback.
That's a good game. I mean, again, not name brand, but it's a good game. I kind of like games at Cincinnati.
Yeah. In fact, that was a mistake on my part. I had to go back and manually highlight that one, as I did Texas Tech Houston. Houston's unbeaten, and they're home to Texas Tech.
Big game in the Big 12. Yeah,
great game. So, I mean, they're arguing Miami, Florida State should be a great game. Boise State, Notre Dame could be a great game.
I just don't think it will be. I just don't think Boise's good.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I mean,
we're about to do Wacked Out. We're about to do Wacked Out Wednesday.
Did I get whacked out on that one?
Notre Dame.
What is Notre Dame, 17.5-point favorite in that one, Lance? I'm looking at mybookie.ag.
No, it's heavier than that.
Is it now?
Could be 20.
Yeah, right now I will give you the official number because I'm looking at it.
Here it is. It's 20.5 at MyBookie. 62.5 your total. So it's a 3 touchdown.
We'll get to our viewing menu coming up. Our show being brought to you, and we're about to hear from Clark Lee, who I'm sure sleeps really well right now, and Kalen DeBoer, who probably sleeps better after the Georgia win. If you need better sleep, our friends at CPAP Plus there to help you. Sleep Home Alabama.
Yeah, that is the website, sleephomealabama.com. Go to it right now. I had a conversation with a friend the other night, and he was asking about sleephomealabama.com. The CPAP, our friend Ush actually reached out to these guys. I don't know if he told you that, Brown, but he gets all their equipment. Yep. He said it's easy. They don't have to deal with the insurance. It's turnkey. It's Alabama's best home sleep testing and CPAP. You want to make sure you're getting the good sleep. So important for your health. Right now, just $199 for the home sleep test. 5 locations for CPAP Plus. Birmingham, Trustful, Pelham, Foley, Troy. No lab, just easy-to-wear fingertip devices. Clinically validated that connect to your smartphone. Complete with the physician's interpretation of your results. Again, for more information, sleephomealabama.com.
He was telling me something that they do that is so much easier than like the national companies do. But honestly, I wasn't paying full attention, so I can't remember what it is. But those of you that struggle with this, sleep apnea, will know that this is easy working with local people. That's the takeaway.
Right.
That's the takeaway. Yeah.
And I saw Ush this morning, too, and he talked about how usually Brown just puts him to sleep when he listens to his hot takes on sports. And then we started talking about Brown's weight loss. No, we did. But he was at our leadership breakfast this morning. Our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama brings you this part of the show, too, as we jump into Vandy in Alabama again. Our friends at UCA, 70 years of urological care. They've been so good at this. 16 locations. They've grown to 16 locations. So that means they're one convenient to you if you're watching or listening to us in the state of Alabama. great urologists, 35 of those, helping you with everything from prostate health to kidney stones, vasectomies, and anything else you can think of. And they've been doing it for so long. 205-930-0920. 930-0920. Urology Centers, Alabama.com. Here's Clark Lee. Vanderbilt on the road at Alabama. It's college game day. Both teams nationally ranked. I mean, Clark, the spotlight is on you, my man.
What's special is the opportunity to go play against Alabama, and we don't control who shows up, who doesn't show up, who pays attention, who doesn't pay attention. But, we're gonna be excited about that opportunity. And obviously we understand that it's a great stage and we understand that there will be a lot of eyes on us, but what we want to do is go play our brand of football. And we know we're going to take that up against a team that's really good and playing with confidence. And, we'll have our work cut out for us, but that's where our focus will be. And for this program to get where we want it to go, we want these things not to become one-offs. We want this to become part of our operating procedure. And, this is a great chance, a great kind of first chance to enjoy that spotlight.
Yeah, the guy is so businesslike at a microphone, but when you watch his pregame speeches, and if you follow Vandy's social media, the one last year, pregame to Alabama, where he rips off his jacket and he talks to his team, there was no surprise to the Vanderbilt people that they beat Alabama last year, because he told them it was going to happen in the pregame. And he told them exactly how it was going to happen in the pregame. The guy's a great football coach.
Well, that's where it turned for him. I mean, I just wonder last year, and I'll pull up their schedule. I just wonder last year if Alabama just does what Alabama would normally do in those situations, do they have the belief to do what they did? So after that, they beat Kentucky on the road. I mean, Vandy going on the road winning a conference game does not happen very often. They beat Ball State, of course. They lose to Texas, but keep in mind now, that was a 27-24 loss to Texas. Came down, as I remembered, you might remember this better, came down to an onside kick. I think Vandy scored at an onside kick if they get it. They win at Auburn 17-7. Now they lose 3 straight to end the regular season. But I wonder if they don't beat Alabama, does any of that happen? Does any of that happen? Or is this just your normal Vanderbilt team and we're not even – like
that when they threw the goalpost into the Cumberland.
Yeah, that it was a new birth. They were born again, Vandy was.
I just wonder how many of these players know how bad this program was.
Well, maybe not.
Like, I think they're so confident. I think he's done a great job of building this culture and telling these guys they can absolutely beat everyone. So I think they've taken on not only coach's personality, but Diego Pavia's as well. And
almost like the Jaguars are doing. I mean, don't you guys realize you are the Jaguars? Well, no, we don't. We're 3-1.
And I got to give Liam Cohen a lot of credit, because I just didn't see this coming, but Jacksonville and Indianapolis, one of those two teams will win the South, and they're here to stay. But a lot of this is attitude.
But, I mean, Cohen rattled the cage with Robert Saleh.
Yeah. And Saleh had said in a complimentary way they steal signs.
That's right. Yeah, and they're good at it.
They're
really good at stealing signs.
Legally. He pointed out legally, and then Liam Cohen had some words afterwards, keep my name out of your effing mouth.
And his team looked like they were backing him up.
Saleh was like, I'll F you up.
Oh, he would, by the way.
Oh, my God.
He would beat Liam Cohen to a pulp.
I'll knock you all the way back to Duval.
Like, if I had to take one coach in the NFL, offensive, defensive coordinator, head coach, to win a cage match.
Yeah, it might be Saleh.
It might be him. Yeah. But he came back out and kind of apologized and said, look, I was just trying to give him a compliment. I probably shouldn't have used the words that I used.
And then he pointed out, he goes, we're playing another team that legally does it as good as anybody, and everybody in the league does it. We're Sean McVay and them. They do it as good as anybody in the league, and it's a compliment.
No, it is. Like, if you can steal signs without having a Connor Stallions,
to legally do it.
Yeah. I mean, it is pretty impressive.
But my point is, it looks like his team had his back, and it looks the same way with Vandy, that they got this guy. They're playing hard for this guy.
If you guys, though, were serious, if you're repping Clark Lee, do we know his reps? I don't know who reps him.
Couldn't begin to tell you.
Yeah.
But what would you guys tell him? Because he's going to win 6 or 7 games. Would you tell him I would take another job?
I would need to know my NIL. How much money am I getting? I know I'm getting good rev share because I'm in the SEC.
Well, let me give you 2 jobs. Arkansas offers.
Nope.
Let's say that Ole Miss opens up.
That was the one. And you were talking about that with Rhett Lashlee earlier. Like, would he take the Arkansas job? Because you said, well, I think Lane Kiffin ends up at Florida. If that Ole Miss job opens, Lane has develop something I think you can keep going.
Probably so. But
Can you? I think you can.
I think you might be able to. I mean, Hugh had it at a pretty good level.
Yeah.
I mean, they were borderline top 10 team a couple of years.
You're going to have to be a good coach.
Yeah.
I mean, Lane's a good coach, right? My only point, though, is I think Lane has gone in and has sold them. I don't know where it was. Brooks had this out on social media for us yesterday at Next Round Live, the value of each roster. And I can't remember where Ole Miss was, but I remember them being
Well,
those were surprising numbers.
I agree.
The calls I would make if I'm Arkansas or if Ole Miss opens up would be Kirk Cignetti, first one, because this guy knows he doesn't have the biggest budget in the world. I know we sent out what these rosters cost in the SEC yesterday, and it's pretty amazing, some of those numbers. I don't know if we're going to get to that. But Cignetti can't have the resources any of these SEC schools have.
Not at all.
So he's one of these guys, not only can he coach, but he knows how to balance this. So if I was Arkansas or Ole Miss, if that job does open, that would be the call that I'm making.
Kalen DeBoer, though, a lot of people say last year the only reason Vandy won the game, Tyler cut one, the only reason Vandy won the game last year was because Alabama didn't take it seriously. Here's Kalen DeBoer.
There's a perception that the win over Georgia last year created some overconfidence and it resulted in the team not taking Vanderbilt seriously enough just 7 days later. Is that fair? And if not, how do you see it?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to argue against that. You got to handle success, and you got to come back every single week in this league. And I've talked to, every coach I talk to at midfield, that's what the conversation's about is, here you go again. And you got to reload mentally, physically, emotionally to during the week, get prepared at the highest level you possibly can, and go play ball. Physically, it's going to be a battle, and mentally, you got to be ready to respond. And so, we didn't handle success, however you want to put it, last year well. You can't argue that. I also think that they did a nice job executing in critical times and made plays. And so, no different this week, right? We and our success that we had on Saturday, none of it matters. None of it carries over. The third down stops, the third down execution on offense, it doesn't matter. Points don't carry over. Every game's its own game. There's new matchups that are going to be presented in this game that were different than last week. And so, just like I talk about every play being its own play, this game is its own game.
It's impossible to be perfect at that. Nick Saban was maybe the best ever to do that, of starting over, and every week is its own journey.
He knew the situation perfectly going into it.
If this guy can master the ability of getting these group of guys to be able to put Saturday behind on Sunday and come back to work Sunday, and it's just a new chapter, and you work as hard as you did before the Georgia game this week, then they should be in a good place.
Yeah, and I think he probably would say that, like, he's growing still as a head coach, which sounds crazy, but going from the Pac-12 to now the SEC,
it's a different animal.
It is completely different. And I would say this, because I talked to an Alabama fan on the way in today, and he is so concerned about this game, and you should be, because I think Vanderbilt, much like Conor O'Gara, is a really good borderline top 15 team. But this guy has not had any issues at home. And he hasn't had any issues against ranked teams.
No.
And now the wake-up call last year with Vanderbilt to this year, this team will come out. Now, they could lose this game. If you're -2 in turnovers against Vanderbilt and Ty Simpson is yet to turn the football over, you could lose the game in that way. But I just think they're going to come out. I think they're going to be sharp, and I think they know what they're up against.
I think the most frustrating thing beyond just the loss for Alabama fans last year is they lost that game looking disengaged. Like, you just gave up. There seemed to be a lot of busted coverages. Vanderbilt seemed to be able to do what they wanted to at will. You had the pick six that was early from Milroe. Then you had the issues at the end, Malachi Moore kicking the football. They just looked disengaged and
untimely penalty.
It just looked like a team that was undisciplined and disengaged. Like, it's still going to be an issue if Vanderbilt beats Alabama Saturday, whether Alabama looks engaged or not.
But you guys will get me. He's different at home.
Who, DeBoer?
Yeah.
He's never lost there.
Yeah, he's different, and he's different against ranked teams.
He beats those with consistency.
You got a pretty good combination right here.
I agree.
Am I right about this? I think I heard this in the tunnels of Sanford Stadium. Was that the first time that a Kalen DeBoer coached Alabama team actually won the penalty battle, that they had less penalties than the other team?
I don't know who to credit with this. I want to say Nick Kelly of AL.com, but I can't be certain. I think I saw Nick tweet that in the first time, well, I can look it up, though, as a DeBoer coach team
at Alabama
had fewer penalties than their opponent. Yeah. And that is hard to believe that we're this far into this administration and that's the case.
But you'll take 4 penalties, no turnovers.
Every game.
Yeah. And I wonder what his record with ESPN Game Day is. I know that sounds stupid, but I bet he's never lost a game.
Georgia last year.
Uh-huh.
This will be the first one this year.
Did they go to Baton Rouge last year?
They were in Baton Rouge last year.
Okay, so there's 2.
And I don't know about Washington, but at Alabama, I think he's 2-0.
I would say they were one of the Oregon games. I'm guessing, but I could be. Yeah. It could have been a Fox game.
Yeah, seemed like it. All right. Before we get to Wacked Out Wednesday, where we take a point spread and say, man, that's not enough points. Somebody's going to get whacked on Saturday. Wacked Out Wednesday. Our friends at Woodhouse, let's us chill a moment.
Woodhouse Day Spa. When we saw Jeremy Bernard on Monday come in with the robe, all I could think about was Woodhouse Day Spa.
It'd be a great spot for it.
He would absolutely love it. They're going to put you in a robe. They're going to hand you a mimosa. It's the gift of relaxation. Whether you want to do it for yourself, you want to do it for the wife or girlfriend, you're going to be watching football all weekend long. Treat them to the Woodhouse Day Spa, located right there at the Summit Shopping Center's beautiful location off of Highway 280. Get in, see Stuart, the great staff. Tell them the next round sent you. You can choose from a menu of over 70 options with the waxing, skincare, body treatments, massages, nail services. Woodhouse Day Spa, voted America's best day spa since 2009. You can order that special person gift online 24/7 at birmingham.woodhousespas.com, or just get in and tell them the guys from the next round sent you.
The College Football Spotlight.
It is the Shannara Spotlight presented by our guy Alexander Shannara, Trial Attorneys. One thing Alexander Shannara definitely wanted to do was build a firm that could handle anything his community faced. Well, he's done just that. They handle personal injury claims, but they also handle claims for fire and storm damage, bad drug and device claims, disability, workers' compensation, a host of other claims. You find yourself in need of an attorney? Alexander Shannara Trial Attorneys has recovered more than $2 billion for his clients. You pay nothing unless they win your case. Shannara.com, Shannara.com.
LT, the Wacked Out Wednesday. Explain to people, Brownie, you do a better job of this. Explain to people what Wacked Out Wednesday is.
So Wacked Out Wednesday, we've been doing this for years, or at least 1 week. One of the two. And this is basically where we look at a game. Now, why we don't use this on Upset Alert, I tell you, because sometimes we're saying the favorite is the one that's going to do the blowout.
Usually, that's what
it's
this
normally
is.
going to be the favorite. Yeah. We look at this and we're like, that's not near enough points. This is going to be a blowout. For instance, last week, I got it right. That's the only reason I'm going to use this as an example. These other two struggled. I had Duke at Syracuse, and I told you, I was like, Syracuse, new quarterback. They got injuries. I think Duke's better than they've looked. I think Duke won 35-3, if I remember correctly. Yeah, it's a blowout right there. I think Duke was laying 6 on the road and won 35-3. That's what we're looking for here.
So I'm going to the Big Ten. I got kind of a hint on where to go on this game yesterday when you drew a really, really good Spartan. But Nebraska's coming off a bye. They're laying 11.5. Their 2 losses, one possession games, or excuse me, they've beaten Cincinnati in that one possession game. They lost their one game that they're coming off the bye against Michigan by 3. Pretty solid Michigan team, but Nebraska 16th in scoring defense, only giving up 13.5 points per game. 12th in scoring offense, 43.5 points per game. Jonathan Smith, great coach, but still building there. I like Nebraska minus the 11.5, but winning the game by 35.
Woo! Wow, that's whacked out.
35.
Whacked out.
By the way, those block letters more difficult to draw than some of the other logos.
A lot of sharp angles and straight lines that you got to keep. I've noticed that.
Whacked out.
I have done the exact opposite. I've avoided sharp angles and straight lines because I have learned that, Lance.
About 11.5. My upset alert, I got Michigan State winning it outright. You got Nebraska winning it by 35.
Yeah, I just think 2 coaches in 2 different spots.
Whacked out.
Yeah, I think Matt Rule, if he gets an opportunity, he's gonna roll it up.
Wacky. Brownie.
No straight sides or hard angles on this one. I am going to go to a game that features 2 quarterbacks that once were on the same roster at Alabama.
Roll Tide.
Pittsburgh, you can't lose. You got a former quarterback that's going to win this game.
That's right.
Pittsburgh is playing Boston College. Pitt is favored 6.5. Boston College hung right in with Michigan State, the aforementioned Spartans, and we thought, hey, look at Bill O'Brien, and then they go on the road and they lose to Stanford. Not a good Stanford. Or was it Cal? Which one was it? Was it Stanford or Cal? It was one of the California ACC teams. Doesn't matter. They're all the same. And they're going to play Pitt this week. Pitt, a very surprising loss. They controlled Louisville early, let Louisville come back, but I think Pitt is going to bounce back in a big way. No straight lines, only curves on this one. The Pitt logo here, I think Pitt wins this game going away. Pitt laying 6 against Boston
real
College.
quick, that yellow, the highlighter works perfectly for Pitt.
It does.
Very
you're
good color
absolutely right.
scheme.
It kind of bled right here.
I will tell you that
actually you need a lighter blue.
Well, the fluorescent, he does need a little bit lighter blue. The fluorescent is the most difficult thing to get off the whiteboard.
Is it now?
Oh,
yeah, mine bled a little bit. Though Pitt, that's Pitt. Ladies and gentlemen, they're going to be the ones that.
All right. How about? I mean, 6.
I'll
he
say
says
Pitt
35.
by 24.
24.
Yeah, Pitt by 24.
That's wacky, man.
It is
24,
whacked out.
24.
Am I whacked out?
Well, no hat today. Bald-headed guy back.
Oh,
By the
no.
way, our friends at Coca-Cola, Bama fans, enjoy the refreshing taste of Coke Zero because fan work is thirsty work. Bald-headed glasses guy is back, which means
roll tide.
Give me Alabama. Whacked out Wednesday. What's the point spread?
The point spread's 10.5 right now at my bookie.
I bet Alabama fans love this.
I know they've got to. They've got to.
Hashtag RMFT for our friends at Innisfree. 38-13 Alabama.
I think Alabama would take that.
That is quite the swoop you got there on top of the A.
We're going to get sued for that script A.
Why? Is that so close?
It's just too close.
Too close?
I think the mullet's a little long. I think the hair flowing in the wind. You gave it a little much right there. But other than that, good one.
You know why, Brown? You know why?
Why?
Brown?
Why?
We needed the Bama Bangs back. Here we go.
Okay, Bama
Bangs are back.
We're back, baby.
Give me Alabama on Whacked Out Wednesday. Bald-headed old guy is back, and he likes Alabama by, what is that, 25?
38-13.
Yeah.
It's in fact 25 points,
okay.
yes.
It's the teleprompter's on the other side now. I can't see it
I cannot
anymore.
see my numbers.
That is Whacked Out Wednesday today, brought to you in part by our friends at Culver's. Brownie, tell us about Culver's.
Yeah, Culver's a great place to go any game day weekend or pretty much any meal you eat right there at Culver's. Those butter burgers are the best. In fact, they were voted best in the country in fast food restaurants. So congrats to our friends at Culver's there. I say fast food. They don't start cooking it until you order it. So it may take a slight bit longer. They do such a good job there, but I'm willing to wait because it is so fresh coming to me. Butter burgers are great. Those crinkle-cut fries are fantastic, good and crisp, and seasoned just perfectly. And those cheese curds are great. And right now, don't forget the Culver's concrete mixers that are incredible all the time. Well, guess what? They have got a mini flight with some of your favorite cereals as kids and as adults. Cinnamon Toast Crunch, Lucky Charms, and Cocoa Puffs. So go enjoy that mini flight of concrete mixers with the cereals while you can at your local Culver's.
Listen, we love the SEC on this show. And then you had Big Ten had their biggest game of the year to date. Oregon and Penn State opposite of Alabama and Georgia, both in prime time.
Mm-hmm.
Alabama and Georgia wins the ratings, and it's not even close. 10.4 million people watched Alabama and Georgia. In fact, ABC now has had 5 games over 10 million viewers in a season, most by any network, and we're already just through week 5, and they've already had 5 of 10 million or more viewers. And according to, I believe it was Heather Dennis that said this, that there's never been a network that's had 10 million more regular season games. ABC's already got that.
Not really surprised. I mean, when you watch Penn State, early on that was a root canal. Watching that.
It was 3-3 at the half. It was tough to watch.
It was absolutely painful. So I think people, tuned in. Alabama's up 10 at half. It was, it was always in doubt, it seemed like. Now, Penn State and Oregon got really good in the fourth quarter, but by that time, I think everybody had gravitated to Alabama and Georgia.
Yeah, so they had to put an asterisk on the graphic there, had to put an asterisk on it to bring in some kind of Adobe analytics into Nielsen, and the only one they did that with was the Big Ten game, to get them to 8.5 million, to only lose by 2 million.
Yeah.
They had to do some kind of fancy scoring to get them within 2 million of the SEC primetime game. Number 3 on the list was LSU Ole Miss at 6.69 million. And then you had Ohio State Washington 5.23 million.
And don't just dismiss that. That'll be one of the highest rated CBS games of the year. That's who had that game, was Ohio State Washington, because CBS this week gets to show you Penn State at UCLA. MyBookie.ag says Penn State wins that game by 25.5 points or more.
Yeah, whacked out.
UCLA. That's whacked out. I mean, that's the CBS game. CBS used to would have previously had. You almost went very Calhoun County on you there. To used to would have. CBS previously would have been showing you that Alabama-Georgia game that had 10.5 million. Instead, they had Ohio State, Washington, not bad, but then they're going to follow it up with Penn State at UCLA. That CBS deal is baffling to me.
UCLA getting a new offensive coordinator this week. They fire Tino Sunseri of the Fighting Sunseri family, which we're familiar with at Alabama, and they're replacing him with young Jerry Neuheisel, Rick's boy.
Yeah, look, obviously knows the program extremely well with his dad coaching and playing there, and he's been on staff for a while. Yeah. He's never called plays, quarterback coach. But I don't know how it can get any worse. I mean, poor Tino. I mean, you were averaging 14.3 points per game and high-profile quarterback coming in. I don't know if it gets any better. I mean, this is – how often, though, do you see a coach get fired and then they wait a couple of weeks and then they fire the coordinator?
Yeah, at least Petrino just cleaned it all out at once. But Lance is right. You fire the head coach, and then the coordinator's like, yeah, you suck too. We just didn't really think about firing you.
Yeah.
So,
or maybe Tino was like, hey, can we change quarterbacks? Now that the head guy's out, can we change quarterbacks?
Let me show you the invoice. No, we cannot.
We cannot.
We pay too much for this one.
We cannot. So you leave too if you want to change quarterbacks. We got to find somebody who can make Nico work at UCLA, and all they do is get Penn State this week. Great first game for Jerry Neuheisel to call plays. All right, when we come back, more college football, 4 downs for you today. We'll jump into the NFL with a developing story today in the National Football League. The show being brought to you by a couple of great folks. Anything that we get wrong here on the show, like sometimes our prediction, falls into our Deadwood section, and that's where you get our friends at Gray's Tree Service, the folks that came to LT's ranch and took down 4 dead pines.
Oh, they absolutely did. Look, you care for your lawn, care for your trees too. Not only do they do the removal, the trimming, but they've got the tree health. Right there at Gray's, they extracted 4 pines from my yard just about a year and a half ago. Make the phone call, John Mark and those guys, 205-255-1239. You can always scan the QR code that is thrown up. You can visit graystree.com, family owned and operated right here in Birmingham for over 25 years, trusted by nearly every golf course in town at the Birmingham Zoo. No competition. It is our friends at Gray Street.
Hey, Central State Bank is a bank that doesn't just open accounts, they open relationships. We know that personally here at Double Down Media. This is a family-owned bank, community-focused, built on trust for more than 100 years. Central State Bank has served the central part of Alabama, Shelby County, Tallapoosa County, and they're making local decisions, not some big corporate decision, but local people making local decisions and giving you personal service that feels like home. So whether you're starting a business, whether you're buying a car, whether you're planning for tomorrow, use somebody local. Central State Bank with you for every step of the way. Central State Bank, rooted in community, driven by relationships, member FDIC.
Follow Brownie on Twitter and Instagram at Ryan Brown Live.
Yo, kinfolk, what's good, man? Let me holler at you for a minute. You know how life can be life. You're out there chasing that dollar. Every dollar is accounted for going somewhere. Then all of a sudden, bam! Out of nowhere, a car accident. All I had to do was hit up my people at Alexander Shinara Trial Attorney. You already know when that dude Alex pulls up the trial, he shuts down the litigation situation. Yo, go to Shinara.com. Hit him up at 659-777-7777.
Call me, Alabama.
No representation that legal services provided are better than any other provider.
This is what being a NASCAR fan is all about. Singular history and tradition.
Thank you, everybody, for coming out.
And triple header playoffs action to ratchet up the stakes. Throw in a can't miss concert, and you've got more than a race. You've got Talladega. NASCAR Playoffs weekend at Talladega, October 17th through the 19th. Get your tickets now at TalladegaSuperspeedway.com. Ticketmaster, the official ticketing partner of NASCAR.
Never miss anything from the next round when you listen on demand through the podcast platform of your choice, Apple, Spotify, iHeart, or Google Podcast, wherever you listen. Always like, follow, subscribe, turn on automatic download so you can catch every part of the next round. Listen anywhere in the world, anytime on the Next Round podcast feed, and support the show by following, subscribing, and turning on automatic downloads on any podcast platform. Listen anywhere in the world, anytime on the Next Round podcast feed. Thanks for always making the Next Round a big part of your day. Hey, Lance Taylor from the next round to tell you about my friends at Michelson Laser Vision, located conveniently UAB Highlands. Almost 20 years ago, I went in for the procedure. Only took 12 minutes for both eyes. When I went in, I had 2200 vision. I was legally blind. Now I have 20/15 vision, still 19 years later. Make the call today. Schedule a hassle-free consultation. 969-8100. Dr. Mark Michelson, Dr. Jen Michelson, Michelson Laser Vision. Make sure you tell them the next round sent you. 969-8100 or MichelsonLaserVision.com.
Catch up on all today's Next Round on demand through the podcast platform of your choice, Apple, Spotify, iHeart, or Google Podcast, wherever you listen. Always like, follow, subscribe, and turn on automatic downloads so you never miss any part of the Next Round.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, you're in the red zone for every college rivalry and divisional matchup all season long. I mean, where else are the scenic views as good as your view of the game? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
When you crave activity like we do, you belong in the Roback family. Get the best golf wear, hoodies, and activewear for men and women at Roback.com. Use promo code TNR20 to get 20% off your order. That's Roback.com, promo code TNR20.
Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemp Hill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemp Hill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemp Hill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemp Hill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090.
It's bow time. Tired of choosing between sweet and savory? Why not have both? Introducing Bojangles' new chicken and bowberry waffles. The bold Cajun chicken filet you love, now drizzled with a bowberry honey glaze and sandwiched between two warm waffles. Which means your favorite meal of the day just met your new favorite dish. And lucky for you, it's served all day. But it's only here for a limited time, so try chicken and bowberry waffles at Bojangles today. It's bow time.
Bojangles gives us our tender moment of the day, Brownie. Tell us about, before you do on Bojangles,
okay.
A reminder, the last call with Mick Gillespie and Jay Coker, twice a week, and then the post-game after Alabama games on Saturday, available now on this platform. Used to be Elephant in the Room, now it's The Last Call as part of the Next Round family. You can get it, the first of many episodes out today, out yesterday, actually. Some of you have gone and watched it. You get the insight from Mick Gillespie and Jake Coker. It's The Last Call, available wherever you get the Next Round, right here on this same platform. Tell us about Bojangles, Brownie.
Yeah, you can make a bow time for you this coming college football or high school football weekend, whether it's the tailgates, the college or high school games, or that watch party at your house. Get those Bojangles tenders and let them cater your college and high school football weekend. Those great tenders go with those great sauces they've got. You want something sweet? Try honey mustard. You want some tang? Try barbecue. You want some heat? Try creamy buffalo or peach honey pepper. Craving smooth and creamy? How about house-made ranch, jalapeno ranch, or classic bow sauce ready and waiting? So head to Bojangles and make it bow time today.
Baseball playoffs are going on. We also had several managers that were fired. And then graphic departments occasionally, this is our tender moment of the day, don't really get a good feel maybe of what they're sending out until you already send it out.
They don't read the room, as they say.
Yeah, especially when your franchise is named the Angels, and you fire Ron Washington, who's not the youngest guy in the world. This is the graphic they sent out.
No, he's dead.
Thank you, Ron Washington.
He's dead?
They fired him.
Yeah.
And that's the graphic they sent out.
A lot of clouds.
Did they fire him into heaven?
I mean, the Angels have announced that manager Ron Washington will not return for the 2026 season. And that's the graphic?
Yeah.
As Forrester sent me, oh, by the way, he's still alive.
It's still kicking.
Yeah. Not really the graphic package that you really would go with on the Angels there.
Definitely looks like he died.
Yeah.
If I just look at it, and I'm bad about doing that, Lance, I assume Ron Washington passed, unfortunately.
Dead or alive? No.
Ron's still with us.
That's our tender moment of the day. 4 Downs, LT has that for us today, is brought to you by our wonderful friends at New York Butcher Shop. New York Butcher, they will help you with your football weekend. It's almost Thursday again, and that's when LT always goes by New York Butcher.
Yeah, twice last week. I actually did last Tuesday, Friday. I am doing steaks tomorrow night, getting ready for 49ers Rams. Stop in, pick up the freshest meats from the steaks, the ribs, the chicken, the pork, the fresh in-house made sides, from the mashed potatoes, those baked beans. Absolutely fantastic stuff from Jim and his great staff of butchers. Fantastic selection of fine wines and desserts as well. 2 locations, the original Cabo Heights, Highway 119 in Greystone. Rare quality, well-done service. It is the New York Butcher Shop.
First down.
What would be the bigger surprise for you guys this week? In Boise as a 20.5-point dog going into South Bend and knocking off Notre Dame, or Kentucky giving Georgia back-to-back losses in the SEC?
I mean, Georgia's fortunate they don't already have back-to-back losses. Seeing them lose or come close to losing 3 straight games would be shocking. So I would say I am more surprised by Kentucky. Kentucky's obviously the worst team in the SEC, obviously. I don't know who argues against it if you're watching. So I would say I'm more surprised if Kentucky beats Georgia.
That would be shocking.
I would be more surprised if Kentucky beats Georgia. I wouldn't be surprised if Kentucky and Georgia is a yucky game. I agree with Brown. I feel like Boise State's not a good football team this year.
Well, I think they're good. They're not what they have.
Yeah, they're not as good. Not good enough to go beat
They
Notre
are Michigan and Ashton Genty. But I do think against this Notre Dame defense looked much improved last week. Still 99th in scoring defense, giving up over 27 points per game. That would be the better chance of happening. I don't think either one of these happens. But
Notre Dame is incredibly lucky. They were a year early on this. Can you imagine this Notre Dame defense against Ashton Genty?
Oh.
Genty would light them up 100%. If he was still there.
Yeah. Second down.
Okay, tell me which one of these more likely to happen. Houston over Texas Tech or Nebraska over Michigan?
Houston over Texas Tech or Nebraska?
Not Nebraska over Michigan. Excuse me. I don't know why
Michigan
I said
State over Nebraska?
Nope.
Nope. You're talking
Wisconsin.
Okay, Wisconsin over Michigan. Okay.
Yeah, so Houston over Texas Tech, Wisconsin over Michigan, similar numbers.
Which is I'm more surprised by?
Yep.
Wisconsin over Michigan. Wisconsin's terrible.
We can say that now that Alabama's beat Georgia.
I said it before Alabama beat Georgia, but it's easier for Alabama fans now to admit, yes, Wisconsin's awful.
But we're still talking about a true freshman quarterback. And the only thing I would say is Texas Tech's coming off a bye. Houston is undefeated, but they didn't look good last Friday night in Corvallis.
Yeah. Oregon State's 0-5 for those who don't pay them any attention, understandably.
And they should have won that game.
Yeah, they're a bad team.
Yeah,
Texas Tech is getting Baron Morton back. He will start.
Yeah, Will Hammond or Morton. I don't think it matters with that defense, but I would be absolutely floored if Texas Tech. I think Houston could keep it a little closer, but if they were to lose this game outright, that would be shocking.
Well, would you be floored if Wisconsin beats Michigan outright in the Big House?
I mean, I'd be surprised. Yeah,
not floored.
Yeah, I'd be floored with both of them.
Yeah.
I was going to go Michigan Wacked Out Wednesday, but the number was too big already. Hard to be whacked out when it's that big already.
When you're already at 20.5.
Yeah. I would be more. Houston over Texas Tech. Shock me more.
One thing to keep an eye on, and let me pull this up real quick before we move on to third down. Well, they got 3 more. I'm on Luke Fickell watch. Like, what loss does get him?
Yeah.
It's probably going to end up being that Oregon loss at the end of this month. Luke Fickell, back to our conversation of people that don't teams that don't survive October. I don't think Luke's going to. This is the start of that brutal stretch. Iowa, Ohio State, and Oregon follow this game. So
I would love to see Fickell and Dan Lanning. You know, they've got some kind of relationship through other channels, and I'd like to see how much Lanning respects him, because if he doesn't, he could probably drive that death nail through his head.
100% he could. You know, Lanning loves doing stuff like that. What if Fickell's just ready to be done and he calls Lanning and says, do it?
All he's got to do is do something in his press conference.
I'll say something nasty. I don't really mean it about you,
Dan.
Dan.
I don't know if this Dan Lanning cat's a good coach. I know they've got a lot of money there with their NIL, and he's got a lot of good players. I give him credit for that.
I don't really
X's and O's, this guy doesn't know it.
I don't really mean it, Dan, but I just want my buyout. If you'll go ahead and do it for me.
Third down.
Okay, one of these is going to happen. Not going to be surprised if both happens, but more likely. Virginia beats Louisville or Cincinnati beats Iowa State.
Virginia beats Louisville or Cincinnati beats Iowa State. I'm
going to go with Virginia beating Louisville.
I think I will too.
Only because of the Rocco Beck factor. Nick Saban loves him some Rocco Beck on College Game Day. He only says his name about 16 times.
He's good, man.
Yeah, and loves the way he plays.
I think I'm going to say both. I think Cincinnati, though. Iowa State just lost, or it was just announced, both their starting corners are done for the season. Sorsby is a really, really good quarterback that nobody gives any credit to. I kind of think both happen here. I think Virginia's going to beat Louisville. Of course, they're coming off that high, and I can just see it set up for Louisville then to beat Miami.
Yeah. Weird. You mentioned Virginia's coming off a high. Louisville's coming off a game where they were dead to rights and fought back. So I guess in a sense they're coming off a high too because of the way they played.
Should be a lot of offense, too. Really good offenses.
Yeah.
4th down.
Now, both of these are going to be really, really bad losses if they happen. Which one do you guys think is more likely? Vanderbilt over Alabama?
Right.
Or North Carolina over Clemson?
I got Tyler confused because he thought I was looking at him. I was just trying to read your shirt. I'm sure it's a Supreme. Yeah, it's a Supreme shirt. Okay, go ahead. I am going to be more surprised if Vanderbilt beats Alabama.
Can you imagine if North Carolina sends Dabo coming off a bye to 1-4?
Oh, I know, but I mean they are 1-3 right now, and Alabama is the opposite of that.
See, I think I'm going to go the other side. I think Vanderbilt is a borderline top 15 team. I mean,
I think Vandy would beat North Carolina for sure.
Oh yeah.
I think Vanderbilt would beat Clemson. I really do. I'm not just saying that for a fact. Do you guys not think Vanderbilt right now would beat Clemson?
Where's the game played? You don't care?
Syracuse's defense is garbage, and they controlled that entire game. Yeah, in Death Valley.
Yeah.
Death Valley light.
What's the point spread in Vandy Clemson?
Clemson would be a 4.5-point favorite at home.
At home and a dog in Nashville?
No, I think probably 1.5.
1.5 in Nashville?
Yeah. I would say that it has become very Cade Klubnik that about right now he starts playing better football. It's been that way every year.
I mean, this is an absolute setup for him to go out and completely scald this defense.
He's the Cincinnati Bengals of quarterbacks. He plays better deeper into the season.
Which Cincinnati normally does because they start 0-2.
Yeah, slow starts usually.
Yeah, and they normally don't lose Joe Burrow.
Okay, but are you going to be shocked if Vanderbilt wins?
Yeah, I am. I know Vanderbilt's a good team, but guys, we are talking about an Alabama team that seems like they got the wake-up call of all wake-up calls against Florida State. They have been pretty dominant since then. Like, I know they only won by 3 in Georgia in Athens, but they controlled a large part of that game in Athens. They are obviously a better team than Vanderbilt, and everything should scream at them that you can't ignore this game. You can't take a playoff in this game. Almost this entire roster, minus Lottie Brooks and a couple of other players that are playing right now, were in Nashville last year and saw this firsthand. I just cannot see this happening.
We
in
are
back-to-back
sleeping on
years.
Vanderbilt because it's Vanderbilt.
They're a good team. I'm not sleeping on them.
I cannot tell you how many times I've heard somebody say we're sleeping on Vanderbilt. They are. What are they ranked in the top 25? College game day is there, and people keep saying we're sleeping on Vanderbilt. You can't be sleeping on somebody if we keep saying you're sleeping on Vanderbilt.
Well, I mean, I continue to hear the same thing. You can't lose back-to-back years to Vanderbilt. And I've said it myself, but if this was, and a lot of people expected South Carolina to be where Vanderbilt is, if this is South Carolina, if the uniforms, the exact same roster, but it's South Carolina, I think people would take this more seriously.
Maybe more seriously, but I would be saying the same thing about South Carolina. Is Alabama really going to lose in back-to-back years to South Carolina? And if it were the same exact scenario where Alabama had just beaten Georgia at home, had moved to number 1, and they go to Columbia and lose, I would be saying the same thing, that Alabama would have gotten the wake-up call of all wake-up calls from that game last year. I just
saying Vanderbilt's really good.
They
North Carolina is awful.
Both of those are true, but so is Clemson. Clemson's not very good
I don't
either.
think they're awful.
Well, they're not awful, but they're not very good. They're 1-3, I'll remind you.
That is our 4 downs today, being brought to you in part by our friends at the Pants Store. Before Brownie tells you about NASCAR, I want to tell you a quick way to get into that new Alabama and Auburn gear with our friends at the Pants Store. They've got the polos, the hats, the quarter zips, and all the famous name brands like Horn Legend, Cutter and Buck, Antigua and Gentile. Nothing says War Eagle or Roll Tide like the Pants Store. And for the ladies as well, holidays are coming up. Great gifts there. That includes the white sneakers, the platforms, the fall boots, the rompers, the dresses. The Pants Store has you covered. That includes free alteration. And now that it's October, that means we're just a few weekends away from Christmas. Free gift wrapping as well. Zip on down to the Pants Store near you, Huntsville and Auburn and Tuscaloosa and Birmingham, and also anywhere that you're watching or listening to us. Get the shipment today, pantsstore.com, pantsstore.com.
And, of course, October means we are in the Yellowwood 500 month. Talladega Super Speedway. That's who hosts the Yellowwood 500 every single year, and you can go see it yourself. October 17, 18, and 19 is the Yellowwood 500 weekend. 3 races, 3 days, the Whiskey Myers concert, that great garage experience presented by Cool Ray. It is the most immersive in NASCAR and lets you see what it really looks like behind the scenes of a NASCAR team. You'll be so glad you did that. Big bills in the infield. I mean, man, it's just there's so much to do at Talladega. Reserve your spot in the grandstands, reserve your spot in the infield or the camping area right there at TalladagaSuperspeedway.com or call 877-GO-TO-DEGA. It's the Yellowwood 500 weekend. October 17th through 19th, just a couple of weekends away at Talladega Superspeedway, 877-GO-TO-DEGA or TalladagaSuperspeedway.com.
Cut number 14 is DJ Lagway with us today. He's the quarterback at Florida. He was considered by some to be the best quarterback in the SEC coming into the year. It has not worked offensively for the Florida Gators yet. They get Dallas Wilson, wide receiver, making his debut in this game against Texas this week. He missed it a lot of the start of the season here with a left foot injury in camp, so he makes his debut, and that gets us to DJ Lagway talking about how Florida's offense is about to POP.
How do you process, just not playing to your standard? How do you go about kind of processing that in your head? It's like anybody who's competitive, man. You're going to kind of brood on it, be frustrated, but you got to move forward.
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely frustrating. I'm not going to sit here and say it's not frustrating. It's very frustrating, but like we talked about in the beginning of the offseason, always got to have a good process. Sometimes you may not get the results that you want, but being process-oriented, it's finding ways how to better your process, and the results going to come.
And last week, you feel like you made a lot of strides?
Yes, sir. I feel like I know the results haven't been looking the way they are for me personally on my playing level, but I feel like every single week I'm getting better and better, and eventually it's going to pop. And when it pops, it's going to be hard to stop. I'm telling you that now.
Mm-hmm. Who was the guy screaming? Was that in the news conference?
It actually sounded a little like you.
I thought it was you for a second. I was like, Dunaway's a big reaction on
Now, this is the soundbite that you referenced yesterday.
I did.
Popping.
It was in an On3 story. I did not know it had come from the news conference.
Well, I mean, he said when it pops, it's going to pop.
Yeah.
When? I don't think it's going to be this week.
You don't think against Texas, maybe the best defense in the nation, it's going to pop?
Yeah, I don't know about you guys. I'm really surprised at where DJ Lagway is. And I don't know if you blame this all on Lagway, if there's some coaching involved.
Well, everybody, listen, the target has become Billy Napier, and you heard Connor O'Gara earlier, Billy Napier in the play calling. I mean, that's become the target more so than Lagway is.
But I mean,
Napier's play calling.
If you take away Lagway's first week against the Sharks of Long Island, he has 2 touchdowns and 6 picks.
That's bad.
And he's completing roughly 60% of his passes. I mean, he padded a lot of numbers week 1.
Yeah, I would say that, one group of people we never takes blame for how DJ Lagway is playing, or how Arch Manning is playing, or how Lenore Sellers is playing, or how Cade Klubnik is playing, is the media who tells us all summer long on how good DJ Lagway is going to play, or how good Arch Manning is going to play.
I never saw anything from Arch.
You did. You called this on Arch. I thought DJ Lagway was going to pop.
I saw DJ Lagway 6-1 in the final 7 games last year, and I thought, if you would have told me Florida's defense was this good, I would have thought Florida would be Vanderbilt right now.
Had him in the playoffs, Lance. I had him in the playoffs. Yeah. I thought we'd get a good DJ Lagway.
Well, what we end up seeing that in sports, specifically college football, that 1 + 1 doesn't always equal 2.
It doesn't. And listen, that it has become much more of a difficult equation now because of the transfer portal and teams.
Use of the word equation to keep the analogy going.
Thank you. This is not my first show ever. The equation is more difficult now, Jim, because with the transfer portal, teams can get good so quick, and you just don't know overnight who's going to be good.
Yeah.
And
you may end up with a X character that is Diego Pavia that could change what Y and Z ends up being.
There's no doubt about it.
Let's get to our viewing menu. It's brought to you by our friends at Michelson Laser Vision. Tell us about Michelson.
205-969-8100. Dr. Mark Michelson, the first to perform the LASIK procedure in the state of Alabama way back in 1995. I got the procedure done in 2003. Make the phone call that I made. 205-969-8100. Ask for Amy. Tell her the next round sent you. For more information, michelsonlaservision.com.
All right, we got a re-release in theaters tonight. AMC Theaters is doing an event leading up to Halloween where they are showing classic Halloween movies. this whole month. So tonight, you'll be able to watch the original Nightmare on Elm Street if anybody was looking for something to do tonight.
Yeah, you made it sound like the way it's phrased, like it's classic Halloween movies, like the franchise Halloween, right? Isn't there a franchise?
Oh,
thing?
there is a franchise Halloween, yeah.
Doesn't,
but it's
Johnny
better
Depp-
that it's more than just the Halloween franchise.
Johnny Depp gets sucked into a waterbed?
Yes.
Yeah.
That was the first Nightmare on Elm Street, his first acting role.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, he gets eaten by a bed.
No, I remember that part. I just didn't know that was his first ever acting role.
Yeah, he's got a giant TV sitting on his lap.
Yep.
And I always wondered, like,
Why?
the logistics behind that. Like, your thighs have got to be just, like, burning.
I know. Those things will get so hot, those box TVs.
Is that the one where the guy enters you, gets into his nightmares? It's the Lon Kruger guy, right?
Yeah, wrong movie.
Not Lon Kruger.
Lon Kruger. Wow.
Yeah,
So
just
much of that
retired.
sentence right there.
Yeah.
So much of that sentence. No.
This guy crawls in your ass in the middle of the night.
Say no.
What
that
is-
one.
That would be a true nightmare, wouldn't it?
Freddy Krueger? Is that Freddy
Freddy
Krueger?
Krueger is who you're talking about.
Yeah, he enters your dreams.
That's right.
Hey,
So you
Bobby,
don't
what
want
did
to
you dream
sleep.
about last night? A guy crawled in my ass.
Lon Kruger, great coach.
It scared me to death. It was a Nightmare on Elm Street.
Prime has a new movie tonight called Play Dirty. A thief gets a shot at a major heist where he must outsmart a South American dictator, the New York mob, and the world's richest man. It stars Mark Wahlberg, Lakeith Stanfield, Tony Shalhoub, and Keegan-Michael Key.
Yeah, if you get sucked into another Mark Wahlberg movie, it's on you.
I agree.
That's your overall
Yeah.
warning.
Netflix has added the Austin Powers trilogy to its catalog. So if you just want a dumb, fun time, it's like an hour and a half of fart jokes each movie is, but it's a great time.
I like the movies.
Yeah, I
I
love
mean, when you say fart jokes, you make it sound like I'm a dummy for liking these, but I like the Austin Powers
I mean,
franchise.
it is lowbrow humor,
I mean,
but
it's-
that doesn't
yeah.
mean like, oh, nobody can enjoy this, or the people who
Yeah.
enjoy it like lesser stuff.
Yeah,
No,
I
it's
still
just
laugh
fun.
at them. I like the Austin Powers franchise.
Yep. And Netflix has also added the original Strangers from 2008 to its catalog. So if you've heard me talk about how bad the new Strangers movies are and you want to see an actual good movie, watch The Strangers from 2008. It's more of a suspense thriller type movie than a horror movie.
Love suspense thrillers. Thank you, buddy. Appreciate it. That is the viewing menu brought to you by our friends at Michael's. And the show also being brought to you by our friends at Dr. B, the guy that's got LT's hair looking fantastic. He can do that for you as well.
Yeah, Dr. B, best in the business. If you're starting to thin out, look, you want to maintain, you want to be preemptive, you want to grow some back. Our man, Dr. Beckenstein, he can help you with this. I do that non-invasive treatment 3 times a week, 30 minutes each time on the couch. My hair has more than doubled in thickness. Make the phone call that I made to Dr. B and that great staff, 205-319-0316. Tell them the next round sent to you. You can always go online, t3hair.net. T3's got that test. It's easy, painless, affordable. Takes seconds to perform. It's going to show which medicines and compounds will specifically work for your hair loss. Men, women ordering Hims, other products online don't even know if they work. Stop wasting your money and critical time while you're losing hair on products that aren't working. Make the phone call that I made, 205-319-0316. Tell them the next round sent you. For more information, t3hair.net.
Everything Next Round is on demand now in the podcast section at nextroundlive.com.
Honey, a while back, life knocked me flat on my behind. I was hit by an 18-wheeler, and Lord of mercy, it left me hurting. Now, I heard through the grapevine that Alexander Shannara had recovered big money for some people. You been hurt? Can't work? Don't sit there suffering. Call my people at Alexander Shannara Trial Attorneys. Ain't gonna cost you a dime, so pick up the phone and dial 659-777-7777 or go to Shannara.com, because when I called, Alexander Shannara answered.
Call me, Alabama.
No representation made that the legal services provided are better than legal services provided by other attorneys.
This is what being a NASCAR fan is all about. Singular history and tradition.
Thank you, everybody, for coming out.
And triple-header playoffs action to ratchet up the stakes. Throw in a can't-miss concert, and you've got more than a race. You've got Talladega. NASCAR Playoffs Weekend at Talladega, October 17th through the 19th. Get your tickets now at TalladegaSuperspeedway.com. Ticketmaster, the official ticketing partner of NASCAR.
To everyone who craves a fresh meal made just for you, let our team member Jacob share what's special about Culver's.
In Wisconsin, our food comes from the heart, and taking the time to handcraft your meal with care is how we've always done it at Culver's. It's why your Butterburger doesn't touch the grill until after you order.
Come to Culver's and let us serve you a Butterburger made special just for you. From Wisconsin with love, welcome to Delicious.
What are you waiting for? It's non-stop gaming action at Birmingham Racecourse Casino. Come play more than 900 of the latest and greatest games around, featuring fun bonuses and big jackpots. You can wager and win on horse and greyhound races from all over the world. There are more ways to win at Birmingham Racecourse Casino. Birmingham Racecourse Casino, located off I-459, exit 31, Derby Parkway. Must be 21 or older.
Get all your favorite Next Round gear all in one place, nextround.store. From our Next Round hats to the logo tees to the all-time best-selling Y'all Can Have the Rest shirt, you can look your best by shopping with us at nextround.store. Take the Next Round anywhere with nextround.store.
Catch up on all of today's Next Round on demand through the podcast platform of your choice. Apple, Spotify, iHeart, or Google Podcasts. Wherever you listen, always like, follow, subscribe, and turn on automatic downloads so you never miss any part of the Next Round.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, you're in the red zone for every college rivalry and divisional matchup all season long. I mean, where else are the scenic views as good as your view of the game? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
At Central State Bank, we are large enough to serve you and small enough to know you. Manage your money with ease, whether it's mobile banking, hassle-free checking, competitive loans, business solutions, or personalized financial advice. We're your hometown bank with big-time service. Visit us today and experience banking made simple, because at Central State Bank, you come first.
Member FDIC.
Get all your favorite Next Round gear all in one place. Nextround.store. From our Next Round hats to the logo tees to the all-time best-selling Y'all Can Have the Rest shirt. You can look your best by shopping with us at Nextround.store. Take the Next Round anywhere with Nextround.store.
It's bow time. Tired of choosing between sweet and savory? Why not have both? Introducing Bojangles' new chicken and bowberry waffles. The bold Cajun chicken filet you love, now drizzled with a bowberry honey glaze and sandwiched between two warm waffles. Which means your favorite meal of the day just met your new favorite dish. And lucky for you, it's served all day. But it's only here for a limited time, so try chicken and bowberry waffles at Bojangles today. It's bow time.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, the Next Round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
As the kids say, or at least they did back in 2012, Diego Pavia has entered the chat. We will get to that after I remind you the final hour of the show every day for all 1,048 of them. Champy's Chicken has brought you the 11 o'clock hour here on the Next Round. Sterling and the crew down there standing by as the doors have opened up now. 100 seconds ago, 102 seconds, 103 seconds ago, those doors opened up and he rang the lunch bell and he said, come on in for some great Southern comfort food. The fried chicken that's brined overnight, the hand-cut chicken fingers, the Mississippi Delta recipe tamales, perfect to plan ahead. Go to championchicken.com and take to Bryant-Denny Stadium this weekend. Happy hour, good to go food, great for lunch or dinner, destination lunch location, Highway 119 in Alabaster. It is Champy's Chicken. Brownie, read us a bedtime story from Diego Pavia, please.
Our good friend Chris Lowe has interviewed both Diego Pavia and Johnny Manziel. Manziel, we were talking about him being on the sidelines. It seemed kind of odd, right?
Yeah. Texas A&M legend Johnny Manziel on the sideline, Vanderbilt sideline. He'll have a Vanderbilt team pass on the Vandy sideline as part of the traveling party. He sort of has become the spiritual guru for Diego Pavia.
Right. He is mentoring, he tells Chris Lowe, Vandy quarterback Diego Pavia. The quote from the story, from Chris's story that they have tweeted out, this is Johnny Manziel talking, learn from my mistakes, brother. Learn from Johnny. Don't beat Johnny off the field. I beat them once. Diego's got a chance to beat them twice. That's the kind of stuff they build statues for.
Yeah.
He's right.
I mean, look, if they end up in the top 25, you're not going to lay out a statue for Diego. If they had some kind of crazy 10-2 and got to a college football playoff, maybe. I loved watching Manziel play, but I've never thought about, and I'm not talking about the similarities of style of play, I've never thought Diego Pavia and Johnny Manziel like have any similarities outside of football.
The fact that they both play SEC football.
Yeah. No, maybe Diego battles demons. A lot of us do.
Maybe so. I don't know. Diego, though.
I would say that they are in a list of people that built their career on upsetting Alabama. It was a launching point to stardom.
Yeah, I mean, now Manziel won the Heisman, so it was more than just an upset of Alabama, but that upset of Alabama is what probably won him
so
the
go
Heisman.
back to
It was the launching point, yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Who was the runner-up in 2012? Do you guys remember?
Do you know? Or
I don't. I mean, the only reason I bring this up, I think it might have been Colin Klein at Kansas State, if I'm just throwing it out there. I just wonder if he would have won the Heisman without beating Alabama.
No, I don't think he would have. But again,
I got to see who's number 2. But.
Yeah. It's going to take me a second to find that. You would think it'd be easier to find. Yeah, I don't know who.
But anyway,
number 2. Anyway, I don't know if
that ended up to me the second best team in college football.
Manti Te'o.
Colin Klein was third, so Lance was on the right track.
Yeah. How about that? Manti Te'o. Thank you, Brooks.
Yeah, I mean, I think Te'o, there's a good chance he wins the Heisman because it would have been sexy to give it to a defensive player if he probably does. I think it was a pretty tight vote anyway.
Diego also talked to Chris Lowe, guys.
This is the gist of the story.
This is him entering the chat. Ask about playing at Alabama, and I am going to read this clearly for everyone to hear. The crowd, I think, is going to be a big factor in the game. But we just got to play within the white lines. If we do that, if we play our game, it won't be close. Vandy quarterback Diego Pavia to Chris Lowe.
No, wait. Which game is this? This is not the Alabama game, right?
I'll read this again.
Okay.
This is...
Let's not take this out of context.
Diego Pavia to Chris Lowe on playing at Alabama Lance.
Okay.
The crowd, I think, is going to be a big factor in the game. But we just got to play within the white lines. If we do that, if we play our game, it won't be close.
Okay, I thought the way you were going to end that, if we play our game, we should win on Saturday.
We got a shot, baby.
I got no problem with that.
We got a shot.
It shouldn't be close. I don't understand why you do this. Now, Tommy Castellanos, it didn't matter. He stoked that fire, and Alabama went out.
He backed every bit of it up.
Absolutely. Yep. So you would think that this would get the attention of Alabama, not that they needed it. I just don't know why you do this if you're Diego.
He's just a confident kid. I think this is the way he operates. I think he's a confident kid, and if you're Clark Lee, you probably are like, I'd rather him not poke the bear, but I also don't want to temper his confidence because it's why he plays the way he plays.
Yeah, but it's okay. We're going to win the game. This won't even be close is what gets me.
I know, but he's a confident kid. I mean, I'm with you. If I'm Clark Lee, I'm like, dang, Diego, why poke the bear? It's going to be hard enough to go there anyway. Why poke the bear? But I'm also like, the reason we are where we are is this kid has confidence that maybe he shouldn't have. But he thrives on that confidence, and this is the way he plays. I mean, I see both sides of it. Again, if I'm a coach, I don't want my players doing this.
Diego Pavia there, Johnny Manziel mentioned in the story as well with Chris Lowe. That gets us to our Hemphill question of the day as you tell us about Hemphill. Who else made their name best remembered for just upsetting Alabama? Tell us about our friends at Hemphill.
205-229-2090. That is the number you need to call if you experience any plumbing, heating, cooling issues. The heat will be an issue here coming around. You're going to want to make sure that everything is ready to roll when the temperatures start to dip a little bit as we roll into the meat of fall. Our friends at Hemphill Services, they can handle all that. Trust the name. Birmingham has trusted since 1954 for any and all of these issues. Call Adam, Chad, Andrew. Tell them the next round sent you. Hard to stop a train. For more information, hemphillservices.com.
Manziel, Diego Pavia,
Hugh Freeze.
Brand, that was going to be my.
I'm sorry, was that the hook?
That was going to be my exclamation point at the end after we named Steven Garcia and Zach Calzada. I mean, all these other.
Yeah.
Well,
I think it's the obvious one though, isn't it?
But at the end, I was going to drop the. Now close your eyes and imagine if you're coaching at Auburn. Hugh Freeze is I mean, he got this job at Auburn because he beat Alabama.
Hugh Freeze is 100% the coach at Auburn because he's got 2 losses over Nick Saban.
2 wins.
Or excuse me, 2 wins. He does, I think, also have 2 losses as it turns out. But 2 wins over Nick Saban. That's 100%, Lance, the reason he's got this job.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm not going to say 100%, but a good 90%
I'd
probably.
go 100%. I just think
But he
Auburn,
also had success over other teams.
He did, but you can find coaches that have had success elsewhere. But Nick Saban was still a very successful head coach at Alabama when Hugh Freeze was hired. And you cannot convince me otherwise that the Auburn brass didn't look at it and say, there's a guy that has beaten him. And by the way, beat him twice in a row. Am I right?
Yeah.
Yep. 14 and 15. Is that what it was?
Mm-hmm. Is that right?
Yep.
So if I mean, you can't convince me otherwise. Like if Hugh Freeze was 0-4 against Nick Saban, I don't think he's the Auburn coach. I really do not think that. It was appealing to Auburn people, some Auburn people, not all Auburn people, because he had experience in the Southeastern Conference. And to your point, I'm not saying he's only known for this, Lance. I am saying it's the only reason he got the Auburn job. But he had more success at Ole Miss than just about anybody in our lifetime. Now Lane Kiffin has exceeded that success. But Hugh Freeze of our lifetime was probably about as successful an Ole Miss coach as we've seen.
Yeah.
I mean, David Cutcliffe
you're
had
right.
moments. But I don't think he's the Auburn coach if he doesn't win those 2 games. I really do not. I don't think Auburn – there was some PR stuff Auburn had to look past to take him. I just don't think they do that if he's not a guy that's beaten them twice.
That's straight shooting from Brownie right there, brought to you by the Great Shooting Company Distilling, now available all over ABC stores in the great state of Alabama.
Yeah, pick up a bottle of Company Distilling. I told you guys last week I went out and got the maple, I got the apple. Absolutely great sipping bourbon. Of course, you can mix it up however you want. We had the opportunity to sit down with one of the great distillers, Jeff Arnett, the master distiller for Jack Daniels for years. He is now the master distiller there at Company Distilling, and Company Distilling is now available at ABC stores across the state of Alabama. Not only in Alabama, but Colorado, Florida, Georgia, Missouri, Oklahoma, South Carolina, Tennessee, and Texas as well. You can scan that QR code, go to our landing page. We've got great giveaways coming up from our friends at Company. We'll give you more information on that. But find a bottle, learn more at companydistilling.com/Alabama. Must be 21 plus to enjoy. Get in this weekend and get you a bottle of Company Distilling.
All right, mybookie.ag, code next round to play all the games this weekend, where you will find Alabama a 10.5-point favorite. Don't tell Diego Pavia that. If they play their best game, they should be favored. Alabama a 10.5-point favorite over the Vanderbilt Commodores, total of 55.5. You'll find the Texas Longhorns a 7-point favorite on the road at the Florida Gators. Elsewhere in the Southeastern Conference, some might think Mississippi State at A&M is interesting. A&M a 14.5-point favorite in that road game, in that home game against Mississippi State. You play all those games at mybookie.ag. Code next round when you sign up for an account at mybookie.ag. Code next round. And that gets you the $500 bet back bonus guarantee. Here's how that works. You put in code next round and you make your first bet, and up to $500, they cover it for you right there at mybookie.ag. If you lose, $500 right back into your account. Up to $500, whatever that first bet is, right back into your account. You can play it again. Now, you can also go to the casino in the live casino area at mybookie.ag. Those are super fun. I know a lot of you really enjoy those. Great casino action at mybookie.ag. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere. Mybookie.ag, code next round to get that bet back bonus guarantee when you sign up at mybookie.ag.
All right, so if I ask you the best wins in college football in September, who's got the best win right now in college football?
Alabama.
I think
Alabama at Georgia?
I do.
Yeah, it's Alabama or Oregon. Oregon was somewhat predictable because James Franklin can't beat these teams, but it's got to be one of those two.
Yeah. I put Oregon at Penn State number 1 for me.
Yeah,
so you go Alabama over Georgia number 2.
Yeah, so I can defend mine if you'd like to defend yours as well.
I'm going to throw out.
Okay.
These are others in contention to me. Florida State beating Alabama at home.
Yep, I think it's got to be a top 5.
It's a big win. Yep.
Okay. Ohio State beating Texas at home. We still don't know what Texas is yet.
No, we do not. But
yeah. I just don't feel as good about that one.
The reason I would go either Oregon or Alabama is the conference nature of it. Those are both non-conference games, which you can recover from in this system. a loss of those. And the win matters, obviously, but it's going to ultimately come down to what you do in your conference now. So.
Then in the great game of spades, card game, you threw out a king of spades. I'll throw out the ace of spades in Georgia at Tennessee.
Again, we don't know how good Tennessee is.
Yeah.
I think more impressive for me was almost Texas Tech at Utah, just because there was so much hype on that game. What is this Texas Tech roster going to be able to do on the road against Dampier, who was playing so well at that point? And they go in the second half, and their defense completely strangles them out, chokes them out, wins that game going away, and really put Texas Tech in a spot now where we all, and this is probably bad news for the Red Raiders, are saying that this team is going to walk with the Big 12.
Well, and that's probably, Jim, to Lance's point there, conference games are important, obviously, for Big Ten and SEC teams as well. But, boy, they're super critical for Big 12 teams because that's your path to the playoffs. Probably not going to make it as an at-large most seasons from the Big 12, so you're going to need to win that conference. So winning that game at Utah, I mean, when you consider how critical it is to be the Big 12 champion in terms of the playoffs, that one might actually trump those other ones.
But I think for Virginia now spending money in NIL, what they did this past Friday night against Florida State, to put them in the top 25. We're talking about Virginia. They've got another relevant game this week going to Louisville. So winning that conference game and getting over the hump at least early on to go to 4-1, I think that was a big win.
Miami over Notre Dame.
Yeah, over Notre Dame. The South Florida looks like, who cares now? Over Florida, who cares? But,
Texas A&M over Notre Dame, big win.
Yeah, the way that thing went down, and it was in South Bend, absolutely.
Poor Notre Dame.
Yeah, well, I mean,
that's where they are. Yeah.
Indiana over Illinois, the way they did that.
I would say Indiana over Illinois because we were all doubting if Indiana could do it again, and then after that game, nobody's doubting whether Indiana can do it again now.
Yeah, I think Ole Miss over LSU. I know it was at home, and some shops, Ole Miss ended up being the favorite in that game. But for Trinidad Chambliss to come in against what looked like was maybe the best, second, third best defense in the SEC and have success, and for them to win that game.
I was reading CBSSports.com this morning, and I don't remember the guy that wrote, I think David Cobb might be his name, that wrote the article. But he was doing his power ratings of national quarterbacks and had Trinidad Chambliss number 1 in his national quarterback power rating.
I told you, I'd have him in New York. He would be a top 4 right now. It's funny, we don't talk about this anymore, and 3 weeks ago it was maybe the biggest at that point when Georgia Tech knocked off Clemson. And we were like, damn, Georgia Tech is real deal.
Or LSU beating Clemson.
Yeah. Week 1, that was the biggest win of week 1.
But,
probably.
I mean, going into the season, it was big. But if I would have said, hey, one of these two teams is going to beat Clemson, you guys would have said LSU, right? I mean, Georgia Tech had no success against Clemson.
Trying to think of others that we thought were – I mean, for a moment we thought Auburn winning at Baylor was big.
Yeah, Auburn hasn't backed it up, and Baylor has been.
Yeah, but again, it's only 2 one-possession losses against 2 ranked teams on the road, so Auburn still could have another chapter coming up, especially if they beat Georgia.
I know the scoreboard is going to show you Saturday was a one-possession loss. I don't know an Auburn fan out there that thinks it really was. I think they kind of all agree with what Lance has said multiple times. That was a 20-3 ball game.
Well, I'll tell you, for dollars and cents, one that might be massive is Memphis coming back from 18 down.
Against Arkansas. Yeah, that's a good point.
To get them possibly in the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean,
cash some checks.
They're going to need that win if they're going to get that at large. And, for program-wise, I would say Mississippi State, what they did to Arizona State when they were number 12.
Yeah.
To get that confidence, because Mississippi State, I mean, that's carried over. They believe that they can compete and beat anybody on the schedule.
Let's power up a little NFL conversation with our friends at Alabama Power, Browning.
Yeah, that's right, Alabama Power. I mentioned the other day, right before the show, got the alert to remind me to pay my power bill. Got online, paid it in just mere moments. And that's one thing you got to love about Alabama Power is you can keep up with what you are spending and make sure you're not paying more than you should. Look, crazy weather is going to change everything, but the My Power usage tool makes sure you track how much energy you are using and when you're using it. It's a great way to spot patterns, avoid surprises in your bill. Plus, Alabama Power offers easy tips to help you save. Why would you not want to save? Get their tips online, alabamapower.com/mypowerusage. to learn how to manage your usage and keep cost in check with Alabama Power.
That's right. And so in the NFL, we had a little developing news this morning. Cleveland made it official. They've got a new starting quarterback. It is Dylan Gabriel, who will start this week for the Cleveland Browns. They are officially benching Joe Flacco. So Dylan Gabriel next up for the Cleveland Browns. At least they don't change quarterbacks very often.
Well, the thing was, I don't think you could make a decision on which direction you were going to go. So you went with a veteran, Joe Flacco, a guy that's won a Super Bowl. Flacco's been awful. Kevin Stefanski really didn't have an option here. He's turned it over a league high 8 times. He has been absolutely awful. The offense overall is dreadful. And now you bring in Dylan Gabriel, and Shedeur Sanders is a snap away from playing now.
Well, they say today, though, Lance, he's going to be QB3.
Okay.
So they're going to keep him at QB3 because a lot of people wondered that. Is like, are you just completely done with Flacco? So Sanders will be the emergency
I don't know
activated
why,
QB3.
I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I would make Sanders number 2 because I've seen enough for Flacco at 40 years old. He's not going to get any better.
The rules are different now that you don't have to play the 2 before you play the 3, right? I mean, you could technically play Shedeur if you want to.
Yeah, even if he's the emergency guy, though? I thought
if he's the emergency guy, if he's
play
designated
the 2 first. If he's the designated, so you would have to have 3 active on the actual active
3
roster.
on the active
right.
roster.
Yeah.
But the emergency guy is dressed and he's on the side.
Yeah, he's dressed, but you got to play the 2 first.
Yeah, but I've seen enough from Joe Flacco that I don't believe that he's going to do anything different than he's already done with this Cleveland offense. So if you really want to evaluate, if you ever get to that point with Shedeur, I mean, I hope Dylan Gabriel goes out and plays well, man. That was a guy that, was around college football and had success everywhere from Central Florida to Oklahoma to Oregon. I never viewed him, I don't know about you guys, as an NFL quarterback. He's like a Tua light
Very
to me.
light, yeah.
And now he's got an opportunity, so we'll see what happens.
Well, Flacco's numbers were only better than Cam Ward's, and Cam Ward is a rookie still learning this game, and Flacco is a wily veteran.
Yeah.
So,
and I would say the Browns roster around him probably better than the one in Tennessee, but
marginally.
How many rookie quarterbacks have gotten their first NFL start in London? And that's what you're going to get with Dylan Gabriel.
That's not many.
What really is crazy is how many quarterbacks have actually quarterbacked the Cleveland Browns as starters since Baker Mayfield was there in 2021. Check out this guy's coat, or jersey, I should say. It is now officially out of room.
He's got nowhere else to put a quarterback.
He's got nowhere else to put a name. Detmer and Wynn and Peterson, and I can't even read them all. Garcia and McCown and Dilfer and Fry. This is all since 2021 that have quarterbacked this team. There's Manziel on there. There's Kaiser. There's Mayfield. There's Keenum. So not all since 2021. All since Tim Couch was taken, I guess. He's replaced that Tim Couch jersey.
Yeah, help me out. I am, So Couch, SEC. Connor Shaw, SEC. Johnny Manziel, SEC. Who else do we have in there? Jacoby Brissett at 1 point, Florida. Is that all SEC we've got?
So you're saying you should go SEC quarterbacks?
I don't know. None of them will work.
I'm just saying how many.
Yeah.
I mean, there are some guys on there that you thought would be successful, right? I mean,
I don't know.
Tim Couch, did you not think he'd be successful?
Yes, I did.
Baker Mayfield, did you think he'd be successful?
Yes, he is successful, just not with that organization. Johnny Manziel, I was never sure.
Really?
There's Colt McCoy down lower left of that jersey.
RG3, I thought would have been really good.
Yeah. I didn't think Colt McCoy was.
You didn't?
No.
Ty Detmer, did you think Ty Detmer would be any good? No.
Well, in the right system. I mean, the Detmers have always been good in those West Coast systems.
Yeah. That's a piece of work right there.
Boy, it is. It is sad, isn't it?
Yeah, good for that guy.
I tell you, once you get on that, as a Dolphins fan, post Marino until you got to really, I guess, Ryan Tannehill to a certain extent. Once you get on that quarterback carousel, it can be really difficult.
I'm not exaggerating here. I don't think the Green Bay Packers have had that many quarterbacks start a game in their history. I feel really good about that.
I think you're right, actually.
41 since 1999 for the Cleveland Browns.
I would think that you haven't had more than 14. I'll flip the numbers.
I mean,
there goes. This is the tailgate in Cleveland. Oh, here comes the sad quarterback jersey guy. Can I get a picture, sad quarterback jersey guy?
Sure, I'll turn around again.
Yeah.
I mean, I love the fact that Couch is the first one, though. He's still got Couch in the actual nameplate, and then he just started after that.
Yeah. Oh, he was excited when he bought that jersey.
Yeah. Do you remember the celebration when they drafted Manziel? There's some radio station was doing this draft party, and they draft Manziel, and the whole place goes nuts.
So I pulled up a stat real quick. So in the history of the Green Bay Packers franchise,
Look at Tyler.
They have had 34 starting quarterbacks.
34.
Nailed it.
The Browns have had 41 since 1999.
Nailed it, Lance.
You know,
I'm surprised it's 34. To
yeah,
be honest with
it's
you.
crazy because Aaron Rodgers started 223, Brett Favre 253, Bart Starr 157, and then you've got dudes from 1 start, 2 starts, 9 starts, 11 starts. I mean, those are the only 3 that
I remember.
The only thing that made me question the stat would be they started playing Packer football in the 20s.
That's right. Yeah, which makes this even more remarkable.
Yeah,
But
so is it Super Bowl era that they've got more?
Well, I know the Browns had a little hiatus, but the Browns still go way back too.
I know, but I'm just saying.
We're talking since 91.
Is this from the 20s or since, since
I could
67?
believe it. I could believe it from the 20s. I mean, to his point, Bart Starr, Brett Favre, and Aaron Rodgers have started a lot of combined football games.
So I'm looking right here now. I've got it pulled up. No, this goes back to 50.
Okay.
Tobin Rout, 1950 to 56, played 73 games. It's far back as it goes.
Tobin Rout.
That may be when the Packers started. I don't know when the Packers started. Maybe they started in the 50s.
Seems like before that.
Yeah, they were really good.
I remember the Magic Man. You remember the Magic Man?
Yeah,
that was a big
Mikowski?
story. Majkowski.
1921.
What?
I think the J was silent or a K.
Yeah, but they just called him the Magic Man. And he was a big story for a minute. Like he came in and gave him a spark.
Oh, it would be
49 games, 22, 26, and 1.
If you did not get his game locally, it was always exciting when they would go, and Green Bay.
That's right.
Come back in San Francisco.
That's right. Here,
the Magic Man has the ball.
Yeah.
I don't remember Jim Zorn playing for the Packers. Do you?
Oh, I don't
Had
either.
5
He's
starts in
always
1985.
No.
Seahawks, right?
Yeah, I don't remember him playing there at all. That's sad. That's sad trombone, Jim Zorn.
Playing for a great friend. Yeah, he had to leave the Seahawks to go play for the Packers.
A big game Thursday night in the NFL this week. 49ers 3-1, Rams 3-1. It's the Amazon Prime game at SoFi Stadium where the Rams, a massive 6.5-point favorite, may get Brock Purdy back in this one.
Yeah, well, they got him back last week, but the toe injury is really affecting him. So we'll see if it's him or Mac Jones. I think this is one of the reasons it's 6.5. But you also look at teams that are on the road Thursday night football. They have not historically been good. And I think when you ask a lot of people, top 5 teams in the NFL right now, unfortunately, people are going to put the Rams there.
Unfortunately.
Well, I mean, I'm glad that they're there, but at the same time,
you don't want the attention.
Seems like when there gets a little shine on a team is when they go the wrong direction.
Yeah, I still think they're the best in the NFC. I think they're better than the Eagles. They showed it. That was a flukish win for the Eagles, 2 block kicks, one of which is returned for a touchdown. You could live the rest of your life and see that a handful of times.
But as soon as Green Bay has dropped off, which they have, losing to Cleveland and then giving up 40 to Dallas in a tie,
tying Dallas,
Detroit. That is the anomaly. I'm going to be wrong on Detroit.
And Dan Campbell primarily.
Detroit, Philadelphia, the Rams have a Philadelphia problem, but Detroit is the other team that is super scary right now in the NFC.
And they get the Bengals on the road this week, afternoon game on Fox. 3-1 Lions, 2-2 Bengals with a backup quarterback. The Eagles, who are unbeaten at home, but a losable game to the Denver Broncos. It'll test that great Eagle offense, that Bronco defense. 2-2 Denver, 4-0 Philadelphia.
Hell of a game. I don't know where people are on their survivor pools right now, but I said my advice was go against New Orleans. It gets tricky this week because New Orleans is actually favored hosting the Giants and Jackson Dart. But I still think I would ride the Giants.
Well, I mean, the Giants probably cleaned a lot of people out last week. What do you think? Don't you think a lot of people in a survivor pool had the Chargers in New York?
Yeah, first career start.
Yeah, first career start for
Charger
Jackson
defense.
Dart against the Charger defense. How's that going to work?
My Bucks have a tough game on the road at Seattle. The 2 expansion teams from 1976 playing each other again. 3-1 Tampa, 3-1 Seattle.
Oh, I'm pulling for you.
They're a dog. I have a feeling they'll be 3-2, which I would always take in our division.
Have you looked at division odds yet? And the reason I bring this up because we were talking about Baltimore. A lot of people said dead and buried at 1-3. They're still minus 180 to win their division. So they're still a healthy favorite. The Rams are favored to win their division. You guys are massive favorites to win the South.
Oh, gosh. If anybody other than Tampa wins the South.
Washington and the Chargers, interesting game. 2-2, 3-1 this weekend out in L.A. Also SoFi Stadium, which is why Thursday night. And rare do you get 2 games in the same stadium on the same weekend, but they get one this week.
That is very interesting. And, the Chargers only a 2.5-point favorite. Washington's been a disappointment after going to the NFC Championship game last year. But when you look at this offensive line, how banged up it is for the Chargers right now, That's going to be a problem moving forward, and especially when you got a rookie, running back in Hampton who's played well, but the offensive line, it's in shambles right now for the Chargers.
Horrible Sunday night game this week. New England and Buffalo in Buffalo.
I know they want to show Buffalo. Buffalo's got to play every team in this division twice.
I disagree. New England can pop here and there. They're 2-2.
What's the points spread?
Only
Lance?
7.5.
7.5.
Only 7.5. That's big for an NFL game, especially a Sunday night game.
No, we have a great Monday night game.
Monday night, backed into a good one. KC and Duval against Jacksonville.
Yeah.
Back into a game.
Who knew how much more critical it would be for Kansas City than it is Jacksonville?
Yeah. Well, I think a lot of people look at this game, and I think for the sports books out there, setting this number at Kansas City minus 3.5, I think you had to have it a tick over 3 because of the brands. But if we're doing this just based on how these teams have played, and look, Xavier Worthy coming back in this lineup did spark the Kansas City offense this past week against statistically the worst defense in the NFL. But I do think if we were really putting a legitimate number, KC should be a 1-point favorite here. This number's too big.
Interesting.
That is a little look at the NFL. We'll get to trash and some more college football coming up on the other side. By the way, we told you this a few weeks ago, but it's official now. Arizona State and Kansas will play the first ever college football game inside historic Wembley Stadium next year. Arizona State and Kansas will take their game on the road to play it in London, and the Big 12 is really excited about that, making that announcement official today. As we head to break, the show being brought to you by our buddies, Alexander Shannara, trial attorneys.
Yeah, this is a Birmingham-based firm because Alexander Shannara is a Birmingham guy, and he wanted to help his community as much as he could. And let me tell you what he's done. He's won more than $2 billion for people in this community. That's right, recovered more than $2 billion. And he's done that by maintaining core values of integrity, mastery, passion, and success. When you find yourself in need of a lawyer, start with the Alexander Shannara Trial Attorneys. Shannara.com. You don't pay a dime unless they win your case. Alexander Shannara Trial Attorneys, Shannara.com.
Follow Dunaway on Twitter and Instagram at Jim Dunaway.
Honey, a while back, life knocked me flat on my behind. I was hit by an 18-wheeler, and Lord of mercy, it left me hurting. Now, I heard through the grapevine that Alexander Shannara had recovered big money for some people. You been hurt? Can't work? Don't sit there suffering. Call my people at Alexander Shannara Trial Attorneys. Ain't gonna cost you a dime, so pick up the phone and dial 659-777-7777 or go to Shannara.com, because when I called, Alexander Shannara answered.
Call me, Alabama.
No representation made that the legal services provided are better than legal services provided by other attorneys.
This is what being a NASCAR fan is all about. Singular history and tradition.
Thank you, everybody, for coming out.
And triple header playoffs action to ratchet up the stakes. Throw in a can't miss concert, and you've got more than a race. You've got Talladega. NASCAR Playoffs weekend at Talladega, October 17th through the 19th. Get your tickets now at TalladegaSuperspeedway.com. Ticketmaster, the official ticketing partner of NASCAR.
All right. It's a beautiful day for football here at the stadium, and we're just about ready for kickoff. Score 0-0. And suddenly, I'm in the mood for a Coke Zero Sugar. Real Coke taste, zero sugar. Now that's a winning combo. Yeah, crisp, refreshing. That hits the spot. When it comes to great taste, Coke Zero Sugar's always on the scoreboard. Coke Zero Sugar. Real Coke taste, zero sugar.
This hour of The Next Round is presented by the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, now featuring 7 days of giveaways with your chance to win a share of up to $125,000. The more you visit the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, the more chances you have to win.
Catch up on all today's Next Round on demand through the podcast platform of your choice, Apple, Spotify, iHeart, or Google Podcast, wherever you listen. Always like, follow, subscribe, and turn on automatic downloads so you never miss any part of the Next Round.
Sterling and the fine folks at Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster want to welcome you in for a great lunch or dinner starting at 11 a.m. every day. Chicken that's brined overnight and cooked to order, and the taste of the Delta with those Delta recipe tamales. Champy's is perfect for all your tailgating needs this football season. You can also choose Champy's for your next party, wedding, or birthday. Great food, great people. Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster, and everything online at champyschicken.com. Storm season is here. Make sure you have a plan of action in place right now. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing should be your first call when storms hit. Insurance companies love working with Storm Restoration Roofing because of Greg Nelson's name and reputation in the industry. When storms hit, call Greg Nelson. He's local, 205-542-3531. He's the home of the free no-cost roof inspection. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531. It's Storm Restoration Roofing.
Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemphill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemphill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemphill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemphill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090.
It's bow time. Tired of choosing between sweet and savory? Why not have both? Introducing Bojangles' new chicken and bowberry waffles. The bold Cajun chicken filet you love, now drizzled with a bowberry honey glaze and sandwiched between two warm waffles. Which means your favorite meal of the day just met your new favorite dish. And lucky for you, it's served all day. But it's only here for a limited time, so try chicken and bowberry waffles at Bojangles today. It's bow time.
Back with you on the next round. This hour brought to you by our friends at Champy's World Famous Fried Chicken, Highway 119 in Alabaster. If you were there today, Tyler, what would you want?
I haven't had the sausage, cheese, and pickle platter in a while.
It's good.
And it's going to be getting colder soon, and I feel like that's just a really good snack to have during the winter.
I was just I was talking with a buddy of mine yesterday, and we were talking about foods that are better when it's colder outside, some that are better when it's hot outside. And I mentioned Champy's and Southern Fried Chicken. There's something, it's great in the summertime, but there's something about when there's crisp fall air that makes that Southern comfort food just taste so good. And I could eat the sausage, cheese, and pickle plate. I wish it was sitting next to me on my counter right next to my chairs. I'm watching the games. I wish it was sitting there forever. It just refilling itself magically.
Interesting.
It'd be great to just reach over and snack on that thing.
Can you eat soup when it's hot outside? I can't. Soup is cold only for me.
I mean, I can.
I don't like it though.
Well, it's just like chili.
But it's not as good.
Well, chili I put in the soup category.
Yeah, once we get the first bite of the fall is when I'll make the
that's
first
when you want chili.
Champy's Chicken right there. Highway 119 in Alabaster. Go by and see Sterling and the crew right there. Champy'sChicken.com. I'm going to circle back to this one time.
Only one time though. This is our last time?
Probably not.
Okay.
When very talkative peanut eating guy 3 seats down from me, not NFL scout, who talked the entire game in the press box.
What's the first I've heard of this? So some guy is in the press box 3 seats down from you, and he's eating peanuts, and he's loud.
He's got really good seats on the 50-yard line, but one extra person came, so I wanted them to enjoy the game. I knew I had a seat up here in the press box, so I came up in the press box. That guy, don't know who he is, tremendously nice guy, but gave us a narration in the press box of everything going on while he ate a whole huge bag of peanuts.
Georgia gear?
No gear on.
Okay, so this is
he
a
may
neutral,
have had Georgia.
Neutral observer, or he's a Georgia fan?
He's got season tickets.
Big fella?
No, he's normal size.
Was it like the Logan's Roadhouse peanuts where you have to crack them and eat them?
Yeah, but it's in a bag.
It was messy too.
He's keeping them on a plate that he got
like
from the barbecue.
Holes? Yeah. Okay.
So it's stacked up.
So
big.
this guy's eating peanuts the whole game, and it's just narration of every play.
Yeah, he's talking to the people to the left and right of him, and everybody can hear him. 2 rows in front of us as we're atop Sanford Stadium, and then
so this guy was annoying.
When we were going to the locker room at halftime. And that's when I left. I was on the field for the second half. But I was like, okay, I'm going to go on the field. And so I pack up, and as I'm leaving, he's also leaving. And he turned to a former Georgia player. I don't know who this guy is. But several people had come by and said, Well, I guess our glory days are behind us now.
Oh my gosh! At halftime, they were already saying that.
But I even thought to myself, even after the loss, I thought of that guy. I said, so we're to that point now that Kirby Smart's glory days are behind him. So says peanut eating guy in the press box to former Georgia Bulldog. That was the first loss at home.
33 straight.
Glory years are over.
Won the SEC last year. We're in the college football playoff last year. They've won 2 national championships.
I don't know about you guys. Pandemic's a long time ago. It was before the pandemic. Last time they lost South Carolina.
That was their last home loss.
2019, right?
Yeah.
Will Muschamp coached South Carolina. Am I correct on that?
Yeah.
That, to tell you how long that has been.
That was a major upset.
Yeah.
That was the time I was sitting next to Keyshawn at the bar in Minneapolis.
He got everything wrong.
Watching, he got everything wrong.
Yeah. So that shows you how long it's been. Will Muschamp, now watching his son play as a Vanderbilt player, will be in Bryant-Denny Stadium Saturday, watching his son play, was the head coach of the last team that beat them in Athens.
Yeah.
That's been a little while. Will Muschamp.
Yeah. So
glory years are over, huh?
4-3 in the last 7. 3 of those 4 wins in overtime. Do you feel like Kirby Smart's glory days are bright? Because I had several people.
Okay.
When I sent out the text that Kirby was late coming out of the locker room, I picture Kirby in there drawing up mad scientist X's and O's.
Could have been taking a dump.
Or could be.
Yeah.
Could have had a stomach virus.
Yep.
So that I had people text me, I'm worried something's wrong with Kirby. He's not as fiery on the sidelines as he used to be. He's not the same. It doesn't look the same. Do you feel like Kirby Smart's glory days are behind him? The golden era of Kirby Smart Georgia football behind him? Lance?
I think the glory days are pretty much behind anyone is expecting to dominate. Like if you would have said 3 or 4 years ago, I'm going to put the over-under at Kirby Smart 2.5 more national championships, I would have taken the under, but I would have paused and thought about it a little bit. Now I would put that at a half.
Yeah,
and I just think these things are going to be so difficult to win, especially when we expand from 12 to 16, whenever that happens in 2 or 3 years. But I just think they're going to be a lot more difficult to come by. Now, you know, you could say this to Ohio State fans, and they feel like after their run, winning their first under Ryan Day, that, you know, they're going to continue to churn these out. I don't think anybody is consistently, but to where they were, those days are over. But I still think Georgia's going to be a top 10 team year in, year out with Kirby Smart.
If you want, and he will always get these comparisons to Nick Saban, right? Kirby is always going to say, well, at this point at Alabama, Nick Saban was. It's always going to be the Kirby comparisons. Would you guys say Kirby is to the point in his Saban comparison that he needs his Lane Kiffin? Because that's what probably added national. Well, there's no probably to it.
That's a great call by you, because I think a lot of people would say the biggest thing holding Kirby back right now is Mike Bobo.
It's what added trophies to Alabama's trophy case was that Lane Kiffin came in and Nick Saban said, all right, we'll play offense that way. If that's what everybody else is going to do, we'll do it as well. And then that led to Steve Sarkisian, who was a genius play caller. And I mean, that changed Saban. I mean, Lance, Saban's offense has changed starting with Lane Kiffin.
It did. I think schematically there is something. I think a lot of people believe Mike Bobo is holding him back. Defense does seem a little different this year.
It does.
Can I ask you a question? Did Lane, and I'm being serious here.
Okay.
Did Lane add more trophies to Alabama's trophy case, or did he take away more?
Well,
and I'm saying that because 2014.
Lake Sims, though, finished his season as the all-time leading passer in Alabama football history single season. So it's hard to say, well, Lane probably cost Alabama a championship. I mean, my gosh, Blake Sims had the best year statistically any Alabama quarterback had ever had. So how are you going to say that?
Now do 2016. I mean, 2015. I mean, I think you and I could have called Derrick Henry. Plays for Derrick Henry. I mean, that wasn't Lane's system. That was Derrick Henry. That was Nick Saban saying, recruit the guy for a running back. Nobody else wants him to be a running back. We'll take him as a running back. So I'm not going to throw that at Lane. 16, does he cost Alabama a national championship?
Probably.
Nicholas says blame Lane for 2016.
Yeah, I think everybody does. I bet Saban probably does.
No.
Or does.
I mean,
so did he add more or take away more?
Probably a push, but what he did add was what seemed like, for the first time under Nick Saban, a really innovative fun offense where you took advantage of all of that skill.
Now, I will say this. Lane had to be dragged kicking and screaming to the Jake Coker era. He was not a Jake Coker fan. And it's so much so that he convinced Nick Saban, hey, let's try this Cooper Bateman cat out. And that did not work well.
No.
Speaking of previous Ole Miss wins against Alabama when Hugh Freeze was the coach.
Do you think maybe because he was bored of handing it off to Derrick Henry?
Who, Bateman? Or
No,
Lane?
Lane.
Well, I mean, that was early in the season. Wasn't that like game 4?
Yeah.
Game 3 or 4?
At some point, just hand it off, dude.
But, I mean, Coker ended up being, I know you say just hand it to Derrick Henry. They don't win the national championship just handing it to Derrick Henry.
No, not
Jake
at all.
Coker and specifically O.J. Howard, too. Integral parts. I mean, crap. Even all that said, it took a Kenyon Drake kickoff return for a touchdown to win that one.
They didn't win it without it.
And an onside kick.
Yeah, it really did.
Onside kick and a Kenyon Drake touchdown return.
So Kirby Smart, does he ever win another one? Or, because we tapped him as a guy that would check out early.
Yeah, but this is Kirby's Lance. In these big games, these slow starts are catching up with Kirby. It almost cost him the Tennessee game, and it did cost him Saturday night.
Yeah,
he's got to figure out a way to avoid these slow starts.
I mean, I think he wins one more, but you'd have to tell me how long he's going to coach. If he coaches 5 years, he gets one. If he doesn't,
you're the guy with the gut feelings. Do you think this could be Kirby's last year?
No.
You're not going to call that one? You're not going to add that to the Saban and Bruce Pearl?
No.
How old's his kids?
I mean,
they seem young, but
they've got to be high school.
I bought a smoothie yesterday from a kid that I still thought was like 10 or 12 years old, friend of the family's son, and I go in to buy a smoothie at the joint down there.
Yeah.
And he's the one selling it to me. I'm like, you're not old enough to sell smoothies?
I saw a friend's kid popping champagne on her 21st birthday in front of Sanford Hall down at Auburn last night on the feed too. And I thought she was 10 or 11.
Trust me, that comes quick.
Yeah.
when you see that happen. I was going to see if they gave his kids from Wikipedia. No age. It doesn't have the age.
Yeah.
The couple have 3 children. That's all it says.
Yeah.
I don't know how old his kids are, but I mean, what would that?
Well, I mean, if they were graduating high school, it might be a good time. If you're going to be empty nesters, maybe.
No, I was thinking more like if Kirby's son was playing high school football, he would want to do what Will Muschamp's doing.
Or what Brock Huard's doing. I mean, to lay down the mic at Fox to coach, to be part of that staff.
From the AI on the Google, Weston Smart. That's a good name, by the way.
Yeah.
Weston Smart. He sounds like a financial advisor. 17-year-old high school senior.
Oh, wow.
How about that? Julia Smart, 17-year-old. She's a twin. I did not realize he had twins. And then Andrew's the youngest. He's 13. So he's got 2 17s and a 13. That's according to AI now. That could all be incorrect.
Time flies by. Yeah, we'll see if the peanut eating guy is right that the golden era of Kirby Smart is behind him.
Oh, how about this? According to the Athens Banner-Herald, do you trust that one?
It's a real paper.
It is a real paper.
No, I don't believe everything I hear or say.
Yeah. You ready for this? Weston Smart, a junior at Watkinsville Private School, recently scored a perfect 36 on the ACT.
Oh, you said he was smart.
I mean, it's right there in his last name.
Wow.
36.
Yeah, I mean, if you would have said that he's quarterbacking a team that's averaging 36 points per game, that would make a lot more sense.
I mean, you add our 3 together, and we're not much over 36.
No, 36 is
not
tough,
our kids, but the 3
no,
of us.
The 3 of us, what we made on the ACT.
Yeah.
19 for me.
We get there.
I mean, I'm 19, so I get us more than halfway home.
Yeah, well, we get there. It's not like it's Family Feud, Brown. We're going to throw up any zeros. Before we get to trash, a couple of our great sponsors. One of them is our friends at Gutter Cap LT. You were talking about leaves falling earlier.
Leaves are starting to fall all over the place, and one of the things you've got to keep clean and free-flowing is your gutters. Gutter Cap is a patented aluminum cover system. It will do exactly that. Chris Stewart will come out and give you the absolutely free estimate. Then they'll clean the gutters one final time before capping the gutters. Cap it, don't snap it. Last thing you want to do is get the ladder out. You get on the roof, you slip, you fall, you snap the neck and die. No good to the wife or kids. Cap it, don't snap it. 205-823-2212 or guttercapbirmingham.com.
877 go to Dega, Talladega Superspeedway.com. I don't have to make a 36 on my ACT to know this is where you want to be. October 17th, 18th, and 19th, the Yellowwood 500 weekend at the Talladega Superspeedway. I say this all the time, and it's not because they're a sponsor of ours, though we do greatly appreciate their sponsorship. I say this because it's true, and I've told people this, and they come back and say, you're right, Brown. If you have lived here any amount of time, NASCAR fan or not, and have not been to a race at Talladega, you are missing out. It is a show unlike anything I can describe, whether you're a NASCAR fan or not. So take advantage of it. Go to the Yellowwood 500 weekend, 17th, 18th, and 19th of this month. Whiskey Myers is the concert in the infield Saturday night. You can reserve your spot in the grandstands, reserve your spot in the infield in the camping area by calling 877-GO-TO-DEGA or visiting TalladagaSuperspeedway.com. Tyler, if you will.
Sandra, how far has this family come?
We came from Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
LT's Trash is presented by Bud Light.
Legacy. Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy.
We start first. Police department in the Bay Area said over the weekend they had dealt with an unusual circumstance, pulling over a driverless vehicle for a moving violation.
The Waymo?
Yep, this was bound to happen sooner than later.
Yeah, it was. Who did you give the ticket to?
The San Bruno Police Department said they were conducting a grant-funded DUI enforcement operation when officers spotted a Waymo robo-taxi making an illegal U-turn in front of them at a light. Officers pulled over the vehicle with no human driver behind the wheel. The department posted on social media on Saturday, quote, "That's right, no driver, no hands, no clue." Police said since there was no human driver, a ticket could not be issued, saying their citation books, quote, "don't have a box for a robot," end quote. Now, Waymo, the subsidiary of Google parent company Alphabet, was contacted by officers. In a statement to CBS News Bay Area on Sunday, Waymo's spokesperson said the autonomous driving system is, quote, "designed to respect the rules of the road." They said they are looking into the situation, committed to improving road safety through ongoing learnings and experience, according to the company.
So do you think, as you look at the photo here, that rear camera, if it spots the blue and red lights, it pulls over? Do you think that's how they know they're being pulled over? Because how would you get that thing to pull over?
That's a great point.
You know what I'm saying?
So.
Because those things are designed to go from where they pick you up to where they drop you off and not stop.
So now if you want to carjack one, all you got to do is go up behind them with a...
I mean, I think maybe we have unfortunately discovered a flaw in this system, yes.
It would seem that you would need that for just the emergency personnel on the road. It needs to have some kind of flashing light to move over to let the emergency vehicles pass.
That's right, yeah. Interesting. I mean... So, I hate to think the way we just talked, but yeah, I mean, like we've seen people have the emergency lights and they're not real first responders, and that's illegal, but if you can get one of these things to pull over, somebody will do it.
Didn't check the mail yesterday, checked it this morning, and I had a ticket from the toll booth where they take the picture.
Which one? The one down at Destin?
Down in Florida.
In Florida? Yeah, I've done that before.
And they sent me an invoice for like $2.50.
It was.
Wait, how do you get through it without...
It's a camera.
Yeah, but
there's no toll booth.
You don't. No, that's the setup now.
Yeah,
to not slow down traffic. They
mail it to you.
Yeah, always.
So that's how everybody's going to pay.
Or no, if you've got the Sun Pass, you just it comes up.
But I mean, who's got the Sun Pass if you live in Birmingham?
Well, nobody up here.
That's the way it works.
Yeah.
And actually, it's proven that they make more money this way.
So what happens if you don't send it in?
Well, then it comes back and it's $4.80, and then it's $8, and then you're gonna get a court.
And by the way, it's not even me. I was like, dude, I hadn't been to the beach, and I looked. It was Leighton's car.
I love the fact that somebody thought you were driving.
Yeah,
don't send it to that guy.
But if you don't pay, eventually, it's you lose your license, and it's a much higher court cost.
The first time it happened to me, I didn't even realize that was a toll road. Like, maybe I just missed the sign.
Me too.
I didn't realize I was on a toll road.
Man suspected of committing multiple robberies in Colorado was caught by TV news crews while they were actually filming segments about him. Now, some criminals who think they've gotten away with a crime will at times show off. They want to mock police, federal agents who have been on their tail for a while. Others, though, try to play it a little more low-key, hiding away so they don't arouse suspicion. Well, on Friday, September 26th, a man suspected of multiple robberies in Idaho Springs, Colorado, managed to raise the bar up a notch. The man in question, Richard Applequist, walked behind TV news crews as they had been filming segments about his supposed robberies. One of the anchors, CBS's Justin Adams, did a double take after seeing Applequist walk across the street behind him. Applequist, who had his hood up, didn't seem to be too bothered by the fact that television cameras were pointed in his direction. However, the CBS crews and another quickly called 911 to alert police to Applequist's presence in the area. Within 10 minutes, he had been arrested by authorities, taken into custody for questioning. According to the police, quote, deputies and Idaho Springs police quickly responded to the area, were able to locate and arrest Applequist. An extensive search has been launched to find the suspect after several robberies had occurred between September 23rd and September 25th. Now, Adams was shocked by spotting Applequist too. Quote, I was kind of more in a sense of disbelief that, wait a minute, this is the guy who I'm literally talking about and we just described on live TV.
They say
that is odd timing.
They say they always return to the scene of the crime, right? I didn't think that was true. This guy did.
Yeah.
It kind of looks like he knows what he's doing. He looks
Look
over
at
at the camera.
Is that him, Johnny?
Wait a minute. And then he looks right at the camera like, oh, they got me. Wouldn't you turn your head away from the camera?
Now, I don't know of all-time rackets where the arcade claw machine falls in.
I mean, it's pretty low percentage. Like, if you play that at lanceslock.com, that'd be an easy winner every night.
I think the ring toss at fair is probably a little more difficult than
the basketball where the rim is the size of the basketball. Like
and the air is overinflated like it's about to blow up.
You got to be Steph freaking Curry just to make one.
So fire service personnel had to be called in to free a young child who became trapped in a claw machine in a shopping center on Saturday afternoon.
I'll get him out. Don't call him yet. I'll get him out. Give me another quarter.
3 units of the Clare County Fire and Rescue Service from Shannon Station were mobilized to the Shannon Town Center after controllers at the Munster Regional Communication Center received a report of a child trapped in the center. Now, the machine allows users to insert money, maneuver a claw in an effort to grab, claim a prize. In this case, he was trying to get a football. Young child is believed to have climbed into the cosmic crane machine through a large slot from which footballs are dispensed. Youngster then clambered up to the main chamber where the footballs are stored. Staff at the shopping center are understood to have raised the alarm at around 2:25 p.m.
So you're telling me he crawled up where the prize comes out of?
Up the exit hole, so to speak. Yes.
And you're telling me one of his parents wasn't watching it?
I know. Go play that claw machine and shut up.
Okay, before we go home, you got to go to the bathroom. I don't need to go anymore.
Fire service personnel drilled a hole in the lock on the sliding door of the machine, released the kid. The youngster was unharmed, didn't appear to be distressed at any time. Understood he was in the machine for about 15 minutes.
Do you pull one of the stuffed animals on the way out if you're the kid? Just take it with you? Or the football?
It's just not put a bunch of junk.
I imagine that was the plan to begin with.
Oh, yeah.
If I crawl up there, I can get whatever I want.
Anything I want. I just got to feed it back out this door.
My kids have never been big on the claw game, but I would be pulling against them. I don't want more junk in the house. This would be like one of those, hey, man, I hope I lose my $2 or whatever. I don't want this claw to work out for
My
me.
little one used to love it at walk-ons. You know, they got that one right there in the lobby. And, I mean, multiple times gave her like $5-6 in singles.
Brown, what is today?
It's October 1st. Jim did not realize that we were going to get this segment today.
God, I love this segment.
You did not know it was October, Jim.
Yes.
It is time for offbeat holidays right here.
There you go, Jimmy.
Yes.
And it's October for you, Jim.
Jeeves, help me out. October 1st is National Jiffy Mix Day. Is this
today.
the peanut butter?
That's pancakes.
The pancake mix.
Yeah.
Yep, the pancake.
Okay.
I think they do cornbread
mix.
Yeah. Yep. Jiffy, that's a southern staple right there, Jiffy Mix.
October 2nd, Name Your Car Day. I think you're the only one on the panel that's ever named your car.
I did it once.
You didn't name the new one?
I don't have I have not named the new one, no. Still only named the old one. Only because
Blackie.
It is black, yes. It is black in color. Yes. It's inside and out. It's black interior, too.
Spot.
Yeah. That's a hot car in the summer in the South.
Black
car with a black interior.
You could go old school Top Gun, Sunset.
Sundown.
Sundown, that was
Sundown,
it.
yeah,
Sundown.
That was Goose's replacement.
Yeah, it was so good.
Maverick and Sundown.
Sundown. October 3rd is Mean Girls Day. October 4th, 10-4 Day.
10-4, I get it.
Yep.
Over and up.
October 9th, National Moldy Cheese Day.
Boy, I tell you, I'm not a big fan of the moldy cheeses. Which one is, they don't serve it until it gets moldy. There's one, right?
There's a few.
Or
that are
there are
like
a few?
that.
Yeah. I mean, I grew up in Calhoun County. Once we get past cheddar and
technically, isn't blue cheese that?
I mean, that's got nothing but mold on it.
I don't like blue cheese.
I like blue cheese.
I like blue cheese.
I've never liked it. Yeah, I'll tell you where I really don't like it's on a steak. When they do that blue cheese on a steak, no thank you.
I don't think I've ever had it
Oh,
on a
I
steak.
do. There's a local joint that I'll get the black and blue. I typically don't do that.
Don't like a black and blue. I just don't like that flavor for some reason.
October 11th, Southern Food Heritage Day.
Oh, we celebrate that year round here.
October 19th, Evaluate Your Life Day.
Back to the previous day. There's this British couple on TikTok that have moved to Alabama.
Right.
and they're trying all the restaurants that people have told them to try, and they're like,
I saw them last night walking around. It's just like in the UK. They've got cobblestone streets and these old brick buildings.
oh, yeah, I've seen that guy.
I saw that clip too.
Yeah, this is a different people, though. These are different people. Those people are doing it, too, but this is a different couple.
You think this couple's legit? Or
No, they're legit.
Okay.
I mean, they've got the British accent and everything.
Luca had that.
And they are like, Luca did have that. And they're like, what people say about the food down here is absolutely true. Like, it is so much better than the food in the UK. And I'm like, well, yeah, of course it is.
I can't believe our food's better than beans on toast.
Oh, I know. Yeah. I mean, what do y'all serve over there? Cold beans on toast.
Yeah, cold beans on toast.
And you could do good food because there is a local pub that the guy is from Liverpool, and I had brunch there Sunday, and the food's fantastic. They did a chicken pot pie for their dish of the day.
That, yeah.
And then an apple turnover. It was so good. October 26th, Howl at the Moon Day.
No, thank you.
October 27th, Cranky Coworkers Day.
Not going to comment.
We don't have any.
No. Everybody's happy up here.
Oh, not true. I'm one.
No,
I'm cranky
Jim,
all the time.
You're never cranky.
Yeah, all the time.
Listen, I am not just saying this for a fact.
No.
You are so much more pleasant than you used to be.
Yeah, no, I'm cranky. I mean, yesterday, when he was fiddling with something on his computer and not listening to the show, I got cranky.
He did get cranky. I know Tyler could
you
sense
feel
that.
it? Could you feel it, Tyler? That used
Only
to be
every day.
It used to be more than just every day. Jim is so much better now. I'm complimenting you, Jim. I'm not just saying this.
No, I will say even just since I have been here, you've been better.
Oh, look at that. Tyler's noticed improvement.
Many reasons. You beat me down, Tyler.
And finally, October
I'll keep
30th
working
is
on it.
Create a Great Funeral Day and Haunted Refrigerator Night.
Ooh, I don't want a haunted refrigerator.
This is going into Halloween. There you go, offbeat holidays. Welcome to October.
And that is Trash, brought to you in part by our friends at Michelson Laser Vision.
205-969-8100, the number that I called back in 2003. Make the call today. Ask for Amy Toe. The next round sent you. They're going to hook you up with a hassle-free consultation. You have zero to lose to find out if LASIK is right for you. For more information, michelsonlaservision.com.
One quarterback has 11 touchdown passes and no interceptions. And this other Power 4 quarterback has 11 touchdowns and no interception. One has 1,138 yards passing. This other quarterback has 1,183 yards passing. One quarterback has an 84.2 QBR, and this other Power 4 quarterback has an 84.8 QBR. What if I told you one quarterback was Ty Simpson?
I knew that. I don't know who the other is.
And the other quarterback is Luke Altmaier of Illinois.
How about that?
Yeah, there's only three quarterbacks that have yet to throw an interception. And Altmaier, the kid from North Texas, and Ty Simpson.
Well, Jackson Arnold hasn't.
Well, yeah, I guess that's right.
Yeah.
No, there are 14 that haven't thrown an interception, but not all those are
maybe it's
everyday
Power 4.
That could be Power 4 now. That could be Power 4 for sure.
Simpson and Altmaier, almost identical stats. But right now, we picture Ty Simpson being a better quarterback than Luke Altmaier.
Well, Ty Simpson, they had a bad loss on the road, but they didn't get their eyes beat out by Indiana.
Yeah, I mean, Harold Beatty's a good player for Illinois, but, I mean, Luke Altmaier, ton of experience, doesn't have the weapons that Ty Simpson's got, but Ty Simpson's a better quarterback in my opinion.
Playing good football right now. Hopefully it continues on Saturday as Vandy comes to town for college game day. We'll do the Thursday show tomorrow at 9 a.m. Central Time, but don't forget, the last call is up and ready. If you want more of us right now, you can't get us. But the next best thing is Mick and Jake, and they're standing by with the last call right now on this same platform. So go check it out, The Last Call with Mick and Jake. It's up a couple of times a week, and then post-game of the Alabama game, it's all right there for you at the next round. Until next time, God bless you and God bless America.